And a very pleasant good evening to you football fans, and welcome to week number 10 and the very first playoff edition of Henley Hornets football, coming to you live on mybasin.com. It's a home playoff game, but from a different venue, as we're coming to you live from Mazama High School at the newly redone Viking Field as the 4-seed Henley Hornets open the 2022 playoffs against the 13-seed Crook County Cowboys. Good evening, everybody. My name is Josh Eldridge. Along with me is Kevin Petrick. Caitlin Rodriguez running the live stream for you tonight, and in just a few minutes we'll be on 104.3 and 960 Sports. And as we get ready for this matchup tonight, the 4-seed, the Hornets have earned that 4-seed after an 8-1 regular season, that one blemish coming against Mazama. But other than that, a great season for the Hornets, and not much we haven't said already about this Henley team, but they've had a good season. They've earned this 4-seed. They get this home game against Crook County tonight, Kevin. It's looking good for Henley. Yeah, Henley had a great season, and now we're into the win or go home portion of the season. And last week we tried to predict a little bit who we would play, and things shook out a little differently. Sure. Crook County's here, and this is one of those teams. They're from Prineville, of course, and I don't think that the east side of the mountain cold or any of those tricks will get to them. I think they'll be ready to go tonight at kickoff. Sure, as we take a look at the weather, which we'll do more in just a little bit. We're just a shade under 50 degrees here in the Klamath Basin tonight, 47 right now. Again, a full look at the weather coming up in just a few minutes prior to kickoff. But these Hornets with that number 4 seed, Crook County, that 13 seed. We'll take a full look at the standings coming up in just a minute. But Crook County kind of sneaking into the playoffs as that third team out of Special District 5, which came together from the Tri-Valley Conference and the Greater Oregon Conference, and you know how football sort of moves things around. So those two leagues melded together, and Crook County emerged as the third team out of that league with that 5-4 overall record. And you know what? They won one extra league game over number 10 Baker, so they snuck in over that team. As a matter of fact, beating Baker during the regular season to earn that right to be here. So this Crook County team, yes, they're only one game above 500, but they're here and they're ready to play as well. Yeah, I think what's important to note with their schedule is that they won their last two, and right. 2 weeks ago they played number 10 in the state, Baker, and they beat them 48-31. So I think it's easy to see this team's improved. So I think they're coming in on a high. They're coming in with some momentum, and that bodes well for them. They've improved quite a bit, even since last year when these two teams met early in the season. We'll talk about the all-time series history between the Henley Hornets and the Crook County Cowboys. We'll take a look at the state playoffs, which begin tonight. A couple of games happening tomorrow as well. Also, Henley High School involved in some other state playoffs. Volleyball played earlier today. Boys soccer plays tomorrow. We'll get you the full picture as we continue our pregame coverage of this OSAA On Point Community Credit Union opening round playoff matchup between the Crook County Cowboys and the Henley Hornets. Our pregame show continues next.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And we welcome you back to mybasin.com, the site of tonight's OSAA On Point Community Credit Union opening round playoff matchup between the 13-seed Crook County Cowboys and the number 4 Henley Hornets. Henley enters play tonight 8-1 overall. Crook County 5-4 this season. As we take just a quick look now at the Big Sky Conference standings, the final standings from the 2022 regular season. Of course, the number 1 ranked Mazama Vikings, undefeated throughout the season, 6-0 in league play, 9-0 overall this season, followed by these Henley Hornets, who went 5-1 in league play. That one loss coming, of course, to Mazama. 8-1 overall this season. And then Marshfield, the third team out of the Big Sky Conference to make the playoffs. And, of course, we'll look at the bracket in just a minute. The Pirates finished 4-2 in league play, 6-3 overall this season. North Bend finished 3-3 in league play, 4-5 overall. Hidden Valley, Ashland, and Klamath Union each with a 1-5 league mark to close the season. And again, these Crook County Cowboys come to us from Special District 5, kind of a meshing of what was the Tri-Valley Conference and the Greater Oregon League. Number 2, LeGrand finished number 1 in the league. They are the second-seeded team in the playoffs, 5-0 in league play, 7-2 overall on the year, followed by number 7 Pendleton, 4-1 in league play, 7-2 overall on the year. And then, of course, these Crook County Cowboys, 13 seed in the playoffs, 3-2 in league play, 5-4 overall. Baker also finished 5-4 overall, but that 2-3 league mark nixed the number 10 team out of the playoffs. Number 10 due to the rankings, but again unable to crack the 6-team playoff bracket. Madras finished 1-4, and the Dalles finished 0-5 out of that special district. And as we take just a look now at the other games going on tonight at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football bracket. Tonight, starting in a few minutes, of course, from the Big Sky Conference, number 9 Marshfield visiting number 8 Scappoose tonight. Also starting at 7, which the winner of this game would face either 5-seed Estacada or 12-seed Junction City, who, again, play here at 7 o'clock tonight. Also starting in a few minutes, Marist taking on Gladstone. That is the 3 versus 14 matchup. The Tillamook Cheesemakers, a team that Henley recognizes from last year's playoff run, the 6th seed this year, taking on the 11th ranked Woodburn Bulldogs. They play at 7 o'clock tonight. Also tonight, Pendleton taking on Staten, and LeGrand playing Cascade, who made the playoffs. They were the one at-large team out of the playoffs this year. The one game happening tomorrow will be right here at Viking Field at noon. The Vikings kick off against the Seaside Seagulls, who the Hornets did beat earlier this year. And as you look at that list, we talked about it a little bit before the game, Kevin. Henley played 4 other playoff teams this year during the regular season, went 3-1. Talked about it, the one loss against Mazama, but you took care of business against Seaside, Marshfield, and Cascade throughout the season. So, Henley's tried and true. Crook County, they played 3 playoff teams this year. They finished 0-3 against those playoff teams. You can maybe speculate a little bit from those numbers, but right, they are there for certain. Henley has had success against good teams this year. Yeah, both teams have played good teams, and Henley had a little more luck this year than Crook County did against the top 10 opponents. But these teams have no common opponents, so it's hard. So it's really hard to kind of gauge who's better at this or that. But after seeing a little bit of Crook County play on film, they remind me a lot of North Bend. Okay. They're big. For some reason, all the big teams came at the end for Henley.
but they're big, and I think that they'll try to establish the run much like North Bend did in the first half last week.
We'll talk about it a little bit more later on, but you told me before the game that we're playing here at Viking Field, newly turfed. It's the first season they've had it. Henley's field got a little bit beat up when we had that snow over here in the basin, and so here we are playing on the turf. You said that might play into Henley's favor a little bit with the speed that they have coming out of the backfield.
I think that speed's going to be the key tonight. I really do. I think Henley is a much quicker team, and this turf should really lend to that, yes.
All right, we'll talk more about that as we continue this evening's broadcast. But before we go to break, we will let you know that these two teams did play in one game last season, early in the year, a game in which Henley won 38-14. Shaw Stork in that game, 8 of 17 passing, 132 yards through the air and a touchdown. He also ran for 200 yards and 3 scores. Shaw Stork very familiar with this Cowboys defense. As a matter of fact, all time against the Cowboys, Henley has a losing record, 3-7 overall, and 0-1 in playoff matchups against the Cowboys. In 2015, Henley fell to Crook County 49-23. Looking for redemption tonight here in a home playoff game. The 4-seed Hornets taking on the 13-seed Crook County Cowboys. We'll dive a little bit more into this matchup as we continue our pregame coverage, and we'll take a look at starting lineups, coin toss, and kickoff coming up as we continue the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A opening round matchup between the Hornets and the Cowboys next on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it, but the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week, and soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes, and then going Saturdays, I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband, and all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager of Clown Falls Honda and Clown Falls Subaru. I've lived here my whole life. Most of our employees have lived here their whole life too. Our sales, service, parts, and body shop teams are all staffed with experienced local folks. You know them, and they know you. Our dealerships are comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable means we're focused on you. I'm Rob, and I'm glad to know you.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
We welcome you back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union opening round playoff matchup between the 13-seed Crook County Cowboys and the 4-seed hometown Henley Hornets. Just a few minutes away from kickoff and our national anthem coming up in just a few minutes. But Kevin, as we look at these two teams a little bit, we know the Hornets led by Logan Whitlock out of the backfield, still third week going strong as number one in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. 1,277 and 22 touchdowns on the season. He has been deadly. On the other side, Palmer Smith, the running back for Crook County, 806 yards, 14 touchdowns. Looking forward to another good running back matchup, hopefully tonight, between these two squads.
Yeah, these two teams are going to want to establish the run for sure. I think Henley's a little more versatile. We've seen that throughout the year, and we can expect that again tonight.
All right, we'll join it now with the national anthem.
What so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose brush stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Mr. Christopher Benjamin with the Star-Spangled Banner, leader of Henley Choir, and of course a football coach on this staff that has engineered an 8-1 overall record this season under Coach Alex Stork in his 6th year, 36-18 overall. Pard Smith, the head coach over at Crook County, 7-11 overall in 2 seasons, embarking on his first playoff run with the Crook County Cowboys. Again, Kevin, you and I were talking. We saw him a little bit last year. It was a solid win for the Hornets, but this year, this Crook County squad, they're here in the playoffs. They are much improved from last season, but so are these Hornets.
Yeah, Crook County's gotten better as the season's gone on. Henley, that offense we've been talking about, can score within 2 minutes, it seems like almost every time. We haven't talked about the defense a lot tonight, and Henley's defense has been impressive too. Every game but one this season, they've allowed 24 or fewer points.
Sure.
So, and sometimes they kind of start off rough, and then they make some good adjustments, and they seem to me to get better as the game progresses. And by the end, they play really tight D. So we'll see how that goes tonight.
Right now, our captains meeting at midfield. Your captains tonight for the Henley Hornets. It's going to be Juan Manzo, Nate Tappan, Logan Whitlock, and Shaw Stork from left to right. Only 2 captains listed that we have for Crook County this evening. Number 11, Palmer Smith, and number 44, Caleb Guzet. And we'll try to get the rest of them for you in just a little while. And as they're down there right now, our officials tonight with a white cap is Mr. Robbie Cesena. Darren Rutledge is the umpire tonight. Linesman, Keanu McCune. Line judge, Zachary Weeding. And back judge, Timothy Murphy. Your officials tonight from the Klamath Falls Football Officials Association. And as they explain the coin toss down there, a fine time to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab does more than install just tires and wheels. You can come on in for a free pre-trip safety check, and they're going to help make sure that everything's in working order at Les Schwab Tires. They've been doing the right thing since 1952.
It's a little bit strange playing your first playoff home game at not your own field, but it's definitely nice being in Klamath Falls, not having to travel tonight. So the field's very nice. This is the first time we've had a chance to play on this new turf.
Yeah, first time I've seen it since it got redone. Yeah. And athletic director here, Vic Leese, also head football coach at Mazama, very proud of this project that has taken multiple years. And Henley has won the coin toss. They chose to defer. Crook County will receive the football first, and they will be defending the west goal as we look basically southwest here tonight at Mazama High School. The Hornets tonight in their home black uniforms that we've seen them in all year long, with the black helmets and the yellow H on the side, the yellow stripe down the middle, black jerseys with the yellow trim around black numbers, black pants, and a yellow stripe down the side. Crook County tonight with the blue helmets and white jerseys, blue numbers with yellow trim, blue pants, gray pants, a little bit of a white and blue stripe down the side for Crook County. It is just about ready for game time tonight, as the 4-seed Hornets take on the 13-seed Crook County Cowboys. As we prepare for kickoff tonight, 46 degrees at kickoff, and we're not getting too much colder than this. Not too much wind here. There was earlier, but right now it seems to have died down here at Mazama High School. Also, we will say a new kicker coming in tonight for Henley. Instead of the veteran kicker Owen Sheen, it will be number 1 Julian Reyes, a freshman 5'4" kicker coming in, going to be doing the kickoffs and extra points tonight for the Hornets.
Yeah, Julian kicked a few times last week and did a nice job on the extra points, and he'll be kicking off tonight.
Back to receive for Crook County, Austin Vaughn and Cooper Nelson. And the kick is up, and it's going to be caught at about the 12. The ball is fumbled at the 20, and Crook County falls on it, I believe. No! Henley seems to think they got it. It looked like Nelson fumbled it as he was bringing it into his chest. Crook County did fall on it. It was Nelson who recovered as well. And so Crook County almost beginning this game with disaster, but the offense will keep possession of the football. We have to see where they mark it, somewhere between the 20 and the 25. That's where Crook County will take over.
Little playoff jitters there for the Cowboys, and they were fortunate to fall on the football. Henley almost picked up a quick turnover.
And they're marking it right about the 23-yard line, 12 minutes on the clock, as the offense for Crook County, led by their quarterback, Gavin Sandoval, who this season has passed for over 1,200 yards. Their running back, Palmer Smith, has rushed for over 14 touchdowns this season for Crook County. Sandoval takes a snap. It is going to be a handoff, and a gain up down to the 31, a 7-yard gain for the running back Smith.
Nolan Northcutt with the stop on the first play from scrimmage, and a good pickup, 7 or 8 yards there for Crook County.
Last year, a team that liked to pass the football a little bit. This year, they like to get behind that big offensive line of theirs and pound the rock. We'll see what they do here now from the 30. It's about 2nd and 3. This looks to be another handoff to Smith. He's wrapped up and brought down at the 30. I'll be back to the original line of scrimmage there. It'll be 3rd and short, about 3rd and 3 coming up for the Cowboys.
McCoy in on the tackle for Henley. Good defensive stop. That brings up a 3rd down.
Wide receivers for Crook County. It's going to be Luke Freehoff, Edward Freehoff, Elijah Freehoff. And we'll get you the offensive line after this. Here we go. 3rd and about 3. It's going to be another handoff to Smith. He's coming around the near side. He's wrapped up and brought down at the 36. A gain of 5 is good enough for a Cowboys first down. Their first of the night.
Whitlock with a tackle, but still picked up enough for the first down. And Crook County gets on the ball quickly. Similar to Henley, they'll line up on the ball and they'll get the play called in from the sidelines. And they're ready to go.
It'll be 1st and 10 Cowboys from their own 36-yard line, coming from the near hash. Receiver in motion. Now right behind the quarterback, Sandoval. And a handoff. It's going to be taken upfield by Luke Freehoff, the junior 5'10". He rumbles up for about a 1.5 yard gain. 2nd down on the way for the Cowboys.
There's a little bit of trouble with that handoff. It almost looked like he was going to fumble the football, but he was able to pick up a couple, and Nolan Northcutt made the tackle.
Henley defense has taken advantage of turnovers this season. On average, taking the ball away 2.2 times per game. Here we go. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Cowboys from their own 37. Sandoval with the snap. It's a play-action pass coming to the near side. It is caught by Freehoff. He is brought down out of bounds. He's brought down at the 44-yard line, so a gain of 7 brings up 3rd and about 2 for Crook County.
Ryland Fox on the coverage makes the quick tackle, doesn't allow a first down. And here's another 3rd down conversion attempt for Crook County.
Still scoreless, 9:36 left to go in the first quarter of this opening round playoff matchup between the Hornets and the Cowboys. Here we go, 3rd and 2. This one will be a handoff to Smith, trying to come to the near side, trying to keep the legs chugging. He's down to the 46, right at the marker. Now the question is, did he get that first down? And it looks like he did. A second first down of the night for Crook County on a nice 3-yard gain there by Smith.
Just enough for the first down. Cohen Redmond made a good effort, but that was just enough for the first down.
7th play of the drive coming up. It's 1st and 10. Crook County from their own 46-yard line, still driving upfield from right to left. Now from the near hash. Sandoval sending a man in motion. That's Goze. It's a pass over the middle, incomplete.
You know Crook County watched film. All coaches do, and I'm sure they're trying to do what North Bend did successfully last week in that first quarter, try to run the football and then throw the football in the seam, and that was the attempt right there, try to get that football in the middle on the pass.
So it's 2nd and 10 at the 46, Crook County. It's going to be another handoff to Smith coming to the near side. He's wrapped up and wrestled down at the 45. A loss of 1 on the play brings up 3rd and 11.
Good pursuit. Tyler Harper came from the far side, chased down the running back for a loss.
Third and 11, Crook County 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions this drive, but this is their longest attempt at it yet. Play action pass, Sandoval moving up in the pocket, being chased out to his right, moving up. He's swarmed by some Hornets. He throws it away out of bounds, and an incompletion will force 4th and 11. Good job by the Henley defensive front to make Sandoval uncomfortable.
That was good defense. The defensive backs had great coverage down the field, and then the quarterback, I counted 6 Henley jerseys chasing him to the far sideline, so he didn't have much of an option, and that brings up a 4th and 11.
So the Crook County offense staying out there on their side of the field. Nope, backing up to potentially punt. That's what it's going to be. The punt is up from about the 35. Luke Bennett going to let that one hop at the 25. And it's going to kick back the other way, marked down at the 27. That is where the Hornets will take over for their first possession of the ball game after forcing a punt.
What a great first series for the Henley defense. Just what you want after giving up a few long drives last week. You put Crook County in a tough 3rd, 4th down situation, and you get the football right away. So well done by the Henley defense to start the game.
Hornets take over with 8:15 left to go in the first quarter. They are led out there by Shaw Stork, over 1,200 passing yards this season and 19 touchdowns. Logan Whitlock leading the state, the running back in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. Here we go, 1st and 10 from their own 27. It's going to be a keeper for Stork, finding some room along the near side, moving left, now going right upfield, brought down at the 35. Shaw Stork, a gain of 9 upfield, and he's trying to make those legs work early again. Last year against Crook County, rushed for over 200 yards.
Good start for Henley. Shaw did a lot of weaving back and forth, just kind of took his time, was patient on that run, almost picked up a first down.
It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Hornets offense. Wide receivers Luke Bennett, Mark Carpenter, and Chris Janney, along with Tyler Harper at tight end. Hand off to Logan Whitlock, coming around to the near side, up past the 40, stumbles upfield, down at the 44-yard line, maybe the 45. A solid gain there by the junior running back earns the Hornets a first down.
Nice cut to the outside, and then used his speed to get down the field. And we'll be watching that here early. I think Henley should have some success on the outside.
They've got wide receivers who aren't afraid to block. That's one thing all season long that we've commended the Hornets for. Here we go, 1st and 10. Henley from their own 45. Another keeper for Stork, coming to the near side, gets around one blocker, trying to stay in bounds, pushes forward for 5 yards, down at midfield. It'll be second down for the Hornets.
That's one of those plays where there wasn't a whole lot to look at, a lot of traffic, a lot of defenders, but he made his way downfield for a 5-yard gain. Well done.
It's going to be 2nd and 5 right at midfield for the Hornets. 3 wide receivers to the left of Stork. It's going to be a handoff to Whitlock to the left side, trying to find his way to the sideline, cutting upfield at the 50, now to the 45, the 40, before being brought down at the 37-yard line. A big gain for Logan Whitlock of about 13 yards and a first down for Henley.
He just seemed to outrun that defense. They were in the right spot, and they were stretching that play out. Well, Logan just too quick.
Yeah, you think I would have learned by now, giving me anxiety running backwards for Logan, but he finds just enough room to cut upfield.
Yes.
1st and 5 now into Crook County territory at the 34-yard line. Hornets try to get the Cowboys on the hard count, now looking to Coach Pashy on the near side for the call. The line is set, 2 receivers to either side for Stork. Hornets haven't thrown the ball yet. This is going to be a handoff to Whitlock up the middle. Tries to get through a group of bodies and is upfield for a gain of 4. Second down for Henley.
That was probably Crook County's best defensive play of the game so far. Holding the Hornets to only about 4 on that pickup. I like Henley's pace. They were very quick to run some plays. Now they're kind of taking their time here.
There's 6.5 to go in the first quarter. Still a scoreless ball game in this opening round playoff matchup between the 4-seed Hornets and the 13-seed Crook County Cowboys. Here we go, 2nd and 5. Stork dropping back to pass. Pump fakes over the middle. Now looking over the middle. He finds his man. The pass is caught at the 19. And I believe, was that Harper there on the catch? That was Thomas Bakke on the catch.
Yeah, that was Bakke. He came in for Harper on that play, and he ran a nice route, a little slant across the middle. Made a nice catch. Had to put his hands up away from his body to make that grab.
Stork's completed 62% of his passes this year, much improved from last year's 55%. An option for Stork. He keeps it, cuts upfield for a gain of 4 down at the 15. It'll be second down for Henley.
Henley offense mixing up the plays as they normally do. They've run the ball for the most part, but they will mix in some passes.
Second down and 6 for the Henley offense. 2 receivers to either side of Stork with Whitlock to his right. A handoff to Logan. He's up inside the 15, wrestled down at the ankles, got up to the 10. Just short of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Henley, their first opportunity for a 3rd down conversion tonight.
Offensive line for Henley doing well at the point of contact. The running backs are able to get through that initial rush of defenders.
Henley getting close to the line there, calling a little bit of an audible there at the last second. Stork with a QB sneak, up for 4 yards and a Hornets first down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Hornets. I haven't seen that one.
I like that. I like when you throw in some new plays. We haven't seen that. They went into a shift, and they shifted into a really tight formation, snapped it quickly under center, and ran the quarterback sneak successfully for the first down. Very nice.
1st and goal, Hornets from the 7, right there in the middle of the field as well. Stork going to keep it, trying to bounce around to the outside, gets turned around, twisted up, and brought down for maybe a loss of 1. It looks like, yeah, maybe a loss of 1, brought back to the 8-yard line. It'll still be 2nd and goal for Henley. This is the 11th play of the drive coming up, and they have taken 4 minutes off the clock. Uncharacteristic for Henley to open the game.
Yeah, they usually score a lot quicker, but I do like how methodical they are.
Yes.
Doing a good job on this opening drive. Not much up the middle that last play. Let's see if they go outside here.
2nd and goal from the 8. Play action pass, trying to find the receiver over the middle, but it winds up incomplete. Stork sailed that one a bit. Will be 3rd and goal.
Trying to find Janney in the end zone. Good coverage by Freeoff. Edward.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, those
There's
Freeoffs. Yeah, there's Elijah Freeoff, there's Edward Freeoff, and there's Luke Freeoff.
Edward was right in the right spot that time. So Henley now with a 3rd down, and they're inside the 10. We'll see what Coach Pashy draws up.
Pair of wide receivers kind of bunched up on the left, spread out to the right for Stork with Whitlock directly behind him. Shaw calls for the snap, play action, now rolling to his right, trying to find a receiver in the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Chris Janney had it for just a second in the front corner of the end zone here on the near side, and then the ball just kind of slid out of his hands. Pretty good play, but not enough to get the touchdown, and now there's some decision making here on 4th down, 4th and goal from the 9.
See how confident Coach Stork is in this offense as they are going for it here on 4th and 9 on the opening drive of this playoff matchup. Stork calls for the snap, rolling to his right, using Whitlock as a blocker, looking towards the end zone. It is caught in the near corner. Luke Bennett in on the reception and a touchdown for the Hornets. They lead 6-0.
That ball was thrown in the exact same spot as the previous play. That time Bennett was over there, and they make the connection for the touchdown.
That's Bennett's 7th touchdown catch of the year and 20th touchdown pass for Shaw. Hornets going to try the 2-point conversion, coming to the near side and just short. The score will remain 6-0 Henley as they cap off a 12-play drive. We'll recap it for you when we come back as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs on mybasin.com.
What comes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
And we welcome you back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs on mybasin.com. The Henley Hornets in front of the Crook County Cowboys 6-0 after they capped off a 12-play, 4.5-minute drive with a Luke Bennett touchdown. The Hornets scoring from 73 yards out. And now the Cowboys with another opportunity. The kick from Reyes is up, bounces at the 10, and rolls into the end zone for a touchback. So the Cowboys will take over at their own 20 with 3:40 left to go in the first quarter of this playoff matchup.
That was a well-executed 4th down touchdown by the Hornets. That's a situation where you want to get some points when you drive the ball that long, that far. And that was a very nice play. Shaw's really been throwing the football well these last 3 weeks especially. He's always been a good quarterback, of course, but he's really throwing the football well this time of year.
And so Crook County now 1st and 10 from their own 20, forced to punt last time. And a timeout is going to be called by the Hornets defense. We'll take one too. The Henley Hornets lead 6-0 in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs on mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
We're back at Viking Field on mybasin.com, the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A playoffs as the 4-seed Henley Hornets lead the 13-seed Crook County Cowboys 6-0, and there is 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. Crook County with their second possession of the game. It's going to be a handoff to the running back, Palmer Smith, who gets swallowed up after a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9 on the way for Crook County.
That was a team tackle for Henley right there. There was no place to go over there. Only picked up about 1.
Here we go, 2nd and 9 for the Cowboys. 2 receivers to the near side, a tight end and a wide receiver to the right of Gavin Sandoval, the sophomore quarterback for the Cowboys. Puts Freehoff in motion, now standing right behind him to his left. Puts Gouze in motion as well. This looks to be a keeper for the quarterback. Sandoval finds some room upfield up to the 30. Dragged down before the 35, call it the 34. That's a gain of about 13 yards and a Cowboys first down.
There was a penalty over there on the far side of the field just before the end of the run, and it is a hold.
It's going to be a hold against Crook County. Mr. Robbie Cesena, the Whitecap tonight, making the designation. So you're right, this one is coming back. First time that we've seen Sandoval run with the football tonight.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. That was a good play call. Designed quarterback run, and Henley wasn't ready for that one. It would have been a good gain. But, of course, the hold had a little something to do with that as well.
So that one will be brought back. Not quite to the original line of scrimmage, so Crook County does gain, some yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6, Crook County at about their own 24-yard line. Sandoval takes the snap, trying to fire it to the far sideline, finds Freehoff. The pass is caught upfield for a gain of 7 and a late flag along the Crook County sideline where the catch was made. After the whistle had been blown, it looked like maybe some shoving coming along the far sideline, but we'll see what the call is here. So unsportsmanlike against the Hornets.
Yep. I didn't see exactly what happened over there, but you're right, Josh. There was a little activity between the players. And that'll cost Henley 15.
So the ball moving downfield, give Crook County another first down. That's their 3rd of the evening. And so after the penalty, that moves the ball up to Crook County's 48-yard line. A good chunk of change for the Cowboys. And we'll see if they can take advantage of this penalty. Again, forced to punt after a 9-play drive. Got them almost to midfield last time. 1st and 10, Crook County. It's going to be a handoff again to Smith. He is stood up and brought down after a gain of 8. Maneuvering nicely through the chaos. It'll be 2nd down and a long 1 coming up for the Cowboys.
Luke Bennett with a nice tackle. Stopping the Cowboys. A little bit short of the first down.
Now on the other side of midfield, Crook County driving from the Henley 44-yard line. The yard to gain is the 42. Hand off to Smith, trying to bounce around to the outside, wrapped up and wrestled down at the 46. A loss of 1 or 2 on the play for Crook County. And the Henley defense getting in the backfield, 3rd down and 4.
Nolan Northcutt was there in a hurry, and he has really played with energy these last 2 weeks. That was a great tackle, bringing up a 3rd down.
The Cowboys 2 for 3 on 3rd down conversions tonight. This one of the shorter variety. Call it 3rd and 3 to be exact. Crook County from the near hash, the 45-yard line into Henley territory. Gouze in motion from left to right. This is going to be a quick outlet pass to Freehoff, who drops it along the near sideline. Tried to lay out for it. Would have been a first down if he could rein it in, but it drops harmlessly to the turf. 4th down and 3.
That was just a quick out, just past the first down marker. Try to get a 1-step drop and a quick first down, but the ball was incomplete, and now we have a 4th down.
There's 1:19 left to go in the first quarter, and Henley leads 6-0 over Crook County. The punt is up. Bennett going to let that one go out of bounds. We'll see where they officially mark it. But Crook County again forced to punt. That's the 2nd time tonight, that time after 6 plays. And the Hornets looking for another offensive possession here.
Henley defense again, getting the job done. Getting the football back to that offense. And the Hornets will start their second possession.
Looks like right about the 35 with a minute 15 to go in the first. They lead 6-0 over Crook County in this opening round playoff matchup.
Just over 1 minute now to play in the first quarter. Henley leading 6-0.
1st and 10 Hornets. Stork calling for the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Whitlock. He battles upfield. Call it a gain of 4 on the play. 2nd down coming up for Henley. And we'd like to welcome those of you listening now on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We're joining in progress of this OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football matchup between the Henley Hornets, the 4 seed in this year's playoffs, against the 13 seed Crook County Cowboys. Henley leads 6-0, and they are driving here towards the tail end of the first quarter. There's 43 seconds left to go in the first as Logan Whitlock carries the ball upfield for a gain of a couple. It'll bring up 3rd and 3 for Henley as they're on their side of the field at the 32-yard line. Crook County's been forced to punt twice tonight. Henley has scored on their only other possession this evening, but failed the 2-point conversion. That's how we get our score of 6-0 here in the early going. Appreciate you being with us. My name's Josh Eldridge. Kevin Petrick along with me, and Caitlin Rodriguez on the live stream. Here we go, 3rd and 3. It's going to be a draw handoff to Whitlock, who gets wrestled down at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Will bring up 4th for Henley. And probably a punting situation for the Hornets, as they will have the break between the quarters to decide, as 12 minutes have come and gone, and the Hornets lead 6-0 after the first quarter on the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports with a video on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And we welcome you back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs. The 4-seed Henley Hornets taking on the 13-seed Crook County Cowboys as we begin the second quarter. Henley leads 6-0, and they are feeling confident to try to go for it here on 4th down. Now, they look like they tried to get Crook County on the hard count, but I think the Hornets might have jumped. We'll see what the call is here. Mr. Robbie Cesena, the Whitecap, saying false start against the Hornets. And this one is coming back now after you bring this 4th and 3 back to a 4th and 8. You might be looking at a punting situation, but we'll see what Coach Alex Stork in his 6th season decides to do here. Deep in his own territory, this ball is going to be snapped from Henley's 28-yard line. And Stork will punt. He's stationed at about the 15. The snap. The kick from the 20. Stork gets underneath that one. It's fielded at the 30. Trying to cut back across the field is Freyoff. He's up to the 40. Runs out of bounds at the 45. And, pardon me, that was Crook County's number 8, Austin Vaughn, the junior 5'11", on the return. Brought it up 15 yards. And Crook County looking to start possession right up near the 45-yard line.
I think there was a flag over there, Josh, on that far side that referees are having a little discussion.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. They're right about the 50-yard line.
Nate Tappan was over there and pushed the ball carrier out of bounds, and he might have been held.
And blocking the back against Crook County. And so this one's coming back shy of the 45. We'll see where they end up placing this one.
It's a good break for Henley.
Certainly, that was a good return.
Yeah, it was some good field position, and that will be negated and make the field a little bit longer for the Cowboys. This game feels like it's in slow motion a little bit, Josh, wouldn't you say? We haven't seen the big play tonight. Usually we see big plays from the offense, but the offense has been productive, but just not that big play or the big gains that we're used to.
So Crook County taking over at their own 34 with 11:50 to go in the first half. Sandoval sending Freyoff in motion. This is going to be a sweep handoff to Elijah Freyoff coming to the near side, trying to shove someone off with a stiff arm, but Logan Whitlock there to push him out of bounds. A gain of 1 on the play, and again, the carry there, one of the Freyoff brothers, I believe that was Elijah on the carry, the senior 6 foot tall, 160 pounds, pushed out of bounds after a gain of 1.
Good aggressive defense from Henley. Janney was the first one there, and then Logan Whitlock came and made the tackle. Good team defense from the Hornets.
And so it's 2nd and 9. Crook County now at their own 35-yard line, driving from left to right across your radio dial. Kuzay in motion, going from left to right. This is going to be a handoff to Palmer Smith, who cuts upfield and is brought down after a gain of 2. That will bring up 3rd down and about 6 or 7 for Crook County.
Matthew McCoy, a good sure-handed tackle. Henley's a good tackling team for the most part. They don't miss many tackles.
Crook County, as they face 3rd down here, they're 2 for 4 in such attempts tonight already. The clock keeps on ticking, 10:35 to go in the second quarter, and Henley leads 6-0. Here we go, 3rd and 7 for the Cowboys. Gavin Sandoval calls for the snap. Play action pass. He's looking left, tries to get it out, and the pass is incomplete, almost intercepted. But it falls down to the turf at about the 45 on the other side of midfield. That looked like Luke Bennett was in position, but it'll bring up 4th for the Cowboys.
Yeah, they went to the pass on that 3rd down, and Edward Freyoff was open across the middle. The ball just a little bit out of reach. And another punting situation for Crook County.
Back to receive for the Hornets is going to be Luke Bennett. The kick is going to be kicked out to about the 35. Bennett trying to come to the near side, spins around at the 40, trying to get back. He's staying on his feet, still at the 40, finally brought down, and maybe lost a yard after that, down to the 39. The Hornets weren't in real good position to field that kick, but still bringing it up about 19 yards on the return. 9 yards on the return for Bennett. And Henley will take over at their own 39-yard line.
Yeah, the key to that was that was a real low line drive kick. A lot of players may have let that go, but just by fielding the ball, he probably saved about 20 or 25 yards of field position. So just making that grab was a good play by Luke.
The Hornets take over with about 10 minutes to go in this first half. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 39. Stork back there with Whitlock to his left, 2 wide receivers to either side. Shaw calling for the snap, dropping back to pass, looking near side, trying to find Janney downfield. It is incomplete. Janney's calling for a flag. He's upset, but no laundry on the field. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Chris may have a case there. He was held up a little bit as he was trying to streak down the sideline. That was just a simple drop back pass, going for all of it down the sideline. So the ball goes a little too deep, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
And it looks like largely the same formation coming out for Henley. Mark Carpenter and Tyler Harper on the near sideline, or pardon me, yes, the near side for Shaw as the receiver and tight end. Whitlock to the right of Shaw. Quick pass to the left, finds Janney upfield for a gain of about 5. It'll bring up 3rd down.
That's just what you want. 2 receivers on that side. Janney found a little gap downfield, and Stork hit him with a good pass. Bring up a 3rd down.
It'll bring up 3rd and about 5. Hornets so far tonight are just 1 for 4 on 3rd down. This is going to be a handoff to Whitlock, trying to power his way through all those bodies. I think just short. 4th and 1 at the 48.
It's really close. I think you're right, Josh. I think he's just a bit short. And it's right near midfield. Coach Stork may go for this one on 4th and about 1.5.
And they are. And Whitlock, I think, just short. 4th down conversion is no good, and Crook County gets it into Henley territory at the 49.
That was a good place to try that. You're right at midfield. It was a direct snap to Whitlock, and he kind of bobbled the snap just enough to delay his run, and he didn't quite get to the 1st down marker. So good break for Crook County as they'll get the football in Henley territory.
Yeah, at the 48-yard line with just a shade under 9 minutes left. 8:54 in this first half. Here we go, 1st and 10 Cowboys. Sandoval dropping back, looking to his left. Pump fakes, now looks down the sideline. The pass is incomplete as it sails on his receiver. The pass was intended for Edward Freyoff, but falls incomplete.
Henley had good coverage over there. They had 2 receivers on that, 2 defenders on that sideline. So a good play by the defense there. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 48 into Henley territory. They put Freyoff in motion, and Gouze going from left to right. It's going to be a handoff to Smith. Flag on the near side. Smith chugging upfield. He's wrestled down at the 40. He's upfield for a gain of 9, but there is a flag on the near sideline at the 50.
Like Fox and Carpenter and Whitlock all there for the tackle. But we have a penalty to sort out.
Is that an illegal shift?
Yep.
Illegal shift against Crook County. So this one's coming back.
Another good game brought back by penalty. Crook County's had a couple of those here in the first half.
So that'll make it 2nd and 15. Crook County now back into their own territory at the 47. Play action pass. Sandoval trying to move to his right, feeling pressure behind him. Fires over the middle of the field. The pass is incomplete. A few Hornets there to potentially make the play, but it does fall to the turf. That will bring up 3rd and 15.
I think that was Chris Janney with a chance to make the interception over there. Good coverage by that defensive backfield. Way too much time for the quarterback to survey the field. He had no pressure at all and took his time. But some good helping defense, and now we have a 3rd and very long situation.
Crook County 2 for 5 on 3rd down conversions tonight.
This is just what Henley wants. Try to put their opponent in 3rd and long and get the football back.
Henley leads 6-0 with 8:36 to go in the 2nd quarter. Sandoval with the snap, another play action coming out for Sandoval, trying to come to his right, feels pressure to his left, fires a pass downfield, caught by Freyoff at the 31, now inside the 30, brought down at the 25, and a big completion there for the Crook County Cowboys, a completion of about 28 yards downfield. 1st and 10, Crook County at the 24-yard line.
Nolan Northcutt made his way over there to make the tackle, and that's what's going to happen more times than not when the quarterback has that much time. You just can't guard receivers for 5, 6, 7 seconds, and eventually someone's going to break open, and they found him.
1st and 10 Cowboys from the 24-yard line into Henley territory as the Cowboys drive from left to right. It's going to be a handoff to Smith, trying to go along the left side. Wrapped up and brought down after a gain of 5. Inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. 2nd down.
Bakke over there making the tackle for Henley. And the Cowboys in the red zone here for the first time.
2nd and 5 for Crook County. Going to be another handoff to Smith. Has a little bit of room up the middle. He's upfield for a gain of 5 right at the marker, and we'll see, I believe, just short, maybe 3rd and a couple of feet for Crook County.
You're right, Josh. There was room that time. There was a nice gap created on that left side for Crook County, and there was some running room. 3rd and about a yard.
3rd and 1. Yard to gain the 14. This one coming from the 15. A bunch set at the line of scrimmage coming out for the Cowboys. They're going to try to sneak this one across. Sandoval is upfield. I think he might have got it, if just by a yard. And he did. 1st down Cowboys. Another 3rd down conversion in 7 tries. They've converted 4 of them, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 13.
Henley did that earlier in the game on short yardage, and Crook County did the same thing. A little bunch formation and ran it right up the middle, enough for the 1st down.
5th first down of the night for the Cowboys. Quick dump pass to Smith out of the backfield, and he is brought down inside the 10 at the 9, and so a gain of 4 for Crook County. Maybe a little bit of a screen pass. First time we've seen that.
Yeah. New wrinkle there. It's good for a few yards, but played pretty well by the Hornets. Didn't give up a whole lot. It'll be 2nd down. They can still get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown.
And it's 2nd and 6. Another handoff to Smith. Has a little bit of room coming around the right, but wrapped up from behind and brought down at the 5. A gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Nolan Northcutt making his way through that line again, and making a good tackle. And now we're looking at a 3rd down.
Cowboys face 3rd down. 5.5 to go in the first half, and Henley leads 6-0 in this 4 versus 13 matchup in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs. Here we go. 3rd and 4. It's going to be another handoff to Smith. He's up for a gain of 2, but I think short of the marker. 4th down and 2 coming up for Crook County. The yard to gain will be the 3, and this one marked down at the 5.
Yeah, he ran right into the teeth of that Henley defense, and the Hornets were having none of it. They stopped him right at the line of scrimmage, and Cowboys are going to call a timeout. This is a big 4th down for them.
During this timeout, we'll remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or at 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. Also, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals. Also, one more thank you to Coldwell Banker, Home and Premier Realty. Little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home, and that's why Coldwell Banker, Home and Premier Realty's Beyond the Sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker, Home and Premier Realty today. All right, the teams head back out onto the field. 4:56 to go in the second quarter. Crook County's driving and Henley leads 6-0. The Cowboys face a 4th and 3 deep into Henley territory at the 6-yard line. No, the 5-yard line. 4th down coming for the Cowboys. Rolling out as the quarterback, Sandoval, trying to find a receiver in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Turnover on downs. And the Hornets with a get-out-of-jail-free card there as Gouze was wide open in the back of the end zone, but just could not rein it in. 1st and 10 Hornets from their own 5.
That was the biggest play of the game thus far on a 4th down. And just a heartbreaker if you're a Crook County fan. That play was drawn up just right. They were dragging the back of the end zone with a wide-open receiver. He just couldn't make the catch. And Henley will take over on downs and hang on to their lead.
They'll take over with 4:52 to go in this first half. They lead 6-0, but a long field ahead of them. They take over 1st and 10 at their own 5. Stork with a handoff to Whitlock. Maneuvers up for a gain of 3 yards, brought down at the 8. Will bring up 2nd down for Henley.
Henley running the football between the tackles, and I think Crook County wants it that way. They're definitely trying to funnel those running backs into the middle. That's where they're strongest. And Henley's picking up 3 or 4 yards a shot, but they did have to punt the last time they had the football.
It's 2nd and 7 for Henley. Stork calling for the snap. It's a keeper for Shaw, trying to find some room along the right side. Only found about 2 yards, maybe 3. Maybe 4 even. It'll be 3rd and about 3 coming up. 3rd and 4, as a matter of fact, for the Hornets offense.
Yeah, that run defense has gotten a lot stingier for the Cowboys as this game has progressed. Henley not picking up yardage quite as easily as they're used to.
Hornets have had trouble on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5. Here's 3rd and 4 for Shaw in an empty set. Feels pressure. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down at the 1. Just shy of the safety. And that will bring up 4th down and forever, likely a punting situation, and Shaw's going to have to do it from the shadow of his own goalpost.
That was Gazay, and that was almost a safety as Shaw was getting spun around in the backfield, almost fell into the end zone, but the ball is just in the field of play enough to allow the Hornets to punt. That was almost 2 points right there.
Yeah, Shaw brought down at the 1. Back to receive for Crook County is Austin Vaughn. He's stationed at the 40. The punt is going to be blocked and fallen on out of bounds. It is a safety. And so the Hornets avoid the touchdown recovery, but 2 points to the way of Crook County, who trails now by 4. Don't see that one every day, but it is the playoffs.
Let me tell you, that wasn't just one player back there either. That whole Crook County front was in that backfield in a hurry, and Shaw really had no place to go. He did try to kick the football, but it caromed off one of the players out of bounds, and that'll give 2 points to the visitors, and Henley will be kicking the ball to them from the 20.
So Crook County is going to get the ball back as well with 2:46 to go in this half. Henley still up by 4, 6-2. They scored on their opening drive of the ball game. Took them 4.5 minutes and 12 plays to get 73 yards. Or pardon me, 73 yards for Henley. And now forced to punt.
Crook County's defense.
They've been stingy. You're right. That was a good word for it, I think.
Yeah, I think they're the story of this first half. They played very well, and they do still trail, but Henley really hasn't seen this much resistance against their offense all season.
So what's interesting about the playoffs, you get to see different, different leagues play different ways. We're all in the state of Oregon, but they play different up to the east than they do here in the Big Sky Conference. The kick is up, and it's going to bounce around the 35. That's where it's going to be picked up by the return man for Crook County, Nelson. Brought it up for about 12 yards, past the 45, down to the 46 or 47-yard line. That's where Crook County will take over.
Rylan Fox with a nice stop, making the tackle near midfield. So about 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play here in the half, and Crook County is going to try to put a scoring drive together. They have 2 timeouts, so there's plenty of time.
Here we go. 1st and 10 Cowboys. A couple of guys in the backfield with Sandoval. He drops back to pass. Looking left. Quick pass to Freyoff. It's caught at the 45. He runs up to the 42. And a 10-yard gain is good enough for a Crook County first down.
Luke Bennett over there. And Crook County starting to mix it up with pass and run plays. And they're noticing they have a little cushion out there on the outside, and they'll make that quick throw. And that was good for a first down.
Crook County to the 42 into Henley territory. Driving downfield towards the west goal at Mazama High School. This is going to be a handoff to Smith, who rattles upfield for a gain of 8 or 9. Second down coming for the Cowboys.
That was a tricky play. He was the third back through. You faked 2 handoffs, gave it to the third back, and he found some room. Good for about 8 yards.
It'll be 2nd and 2 for Crook County. And Smith to the right of the quarterback, Sandoval. And whistle and a flag from the near sideline. False start against Crook County. Someone on the line must have jumped, so Hornets get a little bit of a break there as this one moves back 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, much better than a 2nd and 2 situation, obviously.
And here we go, same formation coming out for the Cowboys. Quick pass is going to go towards Smith, cuts up at the 40 and brought down at the 42-yard line. So a short gain of 2 yards brings up 3rd and 5 for Crook County.
Logan Whitlock, the first one there.
Clock rolling, 1:15 left to go in the first half, and Henley up 6-2 in the opening round playoff matchup between the Hornets and the Cowboys. Number 4 in the state against number 13. 3rd and 5. Play action pass. Sandoval looking over the middle. Freeoff with the reception at the 27, brought down at the 25. And another first down for the Cowboys. They're going to try to get on the ball quickly here as we are now under a minute to go in the first half. Another quick pass. Sandoval trying to find a receiver down to the left. Didn't look like anyone was in the area.
That ball might have slipped.
Well,
because there really wasn't anybody over there. It was like kind of slipped out of his hands, incomplete, but I don't think they're too upset because that does stop the clock.
Sure. 2nd and 10 for Crook County at the Henley 25.
They're getting a lot of time to throw the football. And that's one thing I think Henley will work on at halftime. Need to apply a little more pressure to that quarterback. He's getting a lot of time to look around back there.
2nd and 10 for the Cowboys. Play action pass. Again, Sandoval trying to come to the near side and does. Freeoff, a catch inside the 15 at the 13. That's a 12-yard gain and a first down for the Cowboys. Also, Freeoff out of bounds will stop the clock.
That was a good route. Sideline route. Did the old tippy toe, got his feet in bounds, and then stepped out to stop the clock. That was just right.
1st and 10 Cowboys from the 14 into Henley territory, into red zone for the second time tonight. Quick pass. No, it's going to be a handoff to Goze, who has some room inside the 5, brought down at the 4. That's a gain of 11. 1st and goal coming up for the Cowboys.
That looked like a counter or a trap, a little misdirection, and there was a lot of room over there. Henley's fortunate he didn't score on that. And they'll use a timeout. Crook County will.
Cowboys take a timeout. 34 seconds to go in the first half, and we're going to take a timeout here as well. As the score, Henley leads the Crook County Cowboys 6-2. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A playoffs on mysin.com.
Oregon men and women basketball season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $75 for 30 games. Come help us celebrate our 75th anniversary and cheer on the Hustlin' Owls. Reserved season seats start at $175. And our all-new Family Pass gets a family of 4 in on the action starting at just $200. Go to OregonTechOwls.com/tickets to order. We will see you at Danny Miles Court.
We're back on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD Video tonight on mybasin.com. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs The Hornets lead the Cowboys 6-2, but Crook County is driving. It'll be 2nd and 1. Another handoff to Gouze, and trying to get in there, and he does. Gouze in for a Crook County touchdown with 28 seconds to go in the first half. They lead 8-6.
That was just some power running on that play. Nothing special, just straight ahead. And that was just what Crook County ordered as they get the lead for the first time.
And they will be content to kick. The kick is up from Love, and it is good. So the Crook County Cowboys lead 9-6 with 28 seconds to go in the first half. That drive for Crook County, boy, it was quick. It took them just about 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Pardon me, 1 minute and 12 seconds, 7 plays, 53 yards, and a score for Crook County after the Gouze touchdown from about 6 yards out. Extra point is good, and the Cowboys lead by 3. The 13-seed Cowboys came to Klamath Falls with a mission. They're accomplishing it so far in the first half.
Yeah, they made the most of that safety. They got some good defensive momentum, got a couple points with a safety, and then took the short field and scored a touchdown. So, real good 2 minutes for the Cowboys. And we just have 28 seconds left, so Henley will have to do something in a hurry if they want to score before the end of the half.
They do have 2 timeouts. They want to try to use them. But yeah, going to rely on some big plays and potentially a return here. It's Whitlock and Bennett back to do it, but that ball will bounce out of the end zone and a touchback for Henley. And so they'll take over at their own 20 to start this drive.
That was a booming kick, almost out of the end zone, which is pretty good for any high school kicker.
The kicker for Crook County is Gabe Love, a sophomore, 6'1", 165 pounds. He definitely has a boot.
Yeah, that was a nice kick. We'll see what Henley does here. They're used to scoring quickly. We'll see if they're aggressive. With just under 30 seconds to play here in the half.
Yeah, Henley trails 9-6. 3 receivers to the near side for Shaw. It is going to be a handoff to Whitlock, coming around to the 20, to the 25. He gets to the 30, now to the 35. He is finally dragged down. The ball popped loose, and it is Crook County football. Whitlock gave that one up on the near sideline, and the Cowboys take over with 19 seconds left to go in the first half.
That was very strange play. Whitlock dropped the ball as he was running, and he ended up kicking it, I believe, with his foot. And it went about 15 yards downfield. And it was right here on the sideline, but it did stay inbound long enough for a Cowboys player to pick it up. And they have 19 seconds to try to do something here.
They also have 1 timeout left. See what the Cowboys can drum up here with a timeout into Henley territory at the 38-yard line.
They've had success throwing the football, so they'll probably do that again.
Freyoff wrapping from right, now to the left of the quarterback. A handoff to Smith, trying to bounce around to the outside, wrapped up and brought down in the backfield, and a loss of 4. And a timeout is going to be called by Crook County.
That was Logan Whitlock with a great tackle. I'm surprised they didn't throw the football there. That play took a long time to develop, and they ended up with a big loss and had to burn their last timeout. So well done by the Hornets, stopping that run.
With this timeout, with 12 seconds to go in the second quarter, we'll remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. They've got the most understanding trainers that you could ask for. They help you get motivated, and their workouts will make you feel accomplished all day long. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness want you to lose those reins and get your gains. Also, tonight's broadcast brought to you by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate. Klamath Falls Subaru, stop by and say hi. 2nd and 14 for the Cowboys. 12 seconds to go in this first half. They lead 9-6 over Henley. A misdirection. Freyoff pitching it back to the quarterback. Sandoval stumbles, wrapped up and brought down. A huge loss in the play. But that will bring us to the end of the first half. So the Henley defense hoping to bring some momentum into the locker room after 2 plays going the other direction. But Henley does trail 9-6 heading into the halftime break. We'll break it all down for you as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video tonight on mybasin.com.
The road can be a crazy place. That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
We welcome you back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video tonight on mybasin.com. After 24 minutes, the 13 seed Crook County Cowboys lead number 4 Henley 9-6 at halftime. And Kevin, you and I talked about a couple of things during our halftime break, but Crook County on defense, they have stuffed the inside run of Henley tonight, and meantime, our Henley's defense, giving Crook County a lot of time to throw in the backfield. It's been really a story of the two defenses, I think, tonight in such a low-scoring game.
Yes, definitely. 9-6 is our halftime score. So the defenses has been the standout players so far. I think Crook County has showed us that they have a formidable line.
Sure.
Their line play has been really, really good. Defensively, holding Henley's running game to probably the least number of yards we've seen all season. And then offensively, some good pass blocking, especially giving their quarterback plenty of time to throw the football. So Crook County line making the difference here in this first half.
Some numbers from the first half. Crook County 8 first downs in the first 24 minutes. Henley just 4 first downs. This is another one that has hurt the Henley Hornets tonight. 1 for 7 on third down conversions so far this evening. Crook County is, by my count, 5 for 9 on such attempts. So they're extending their drives and they're converting on third down. By the way, both teams 0 for 1 on fourth down conversions. But my oh my, that third down conversion disparity has really come back to bite the Hornets as well. Their drives have stalled. They've had to punt more times this game than they have any other times this year, and one of those punts blocked and recovered for a safety in the end zone.
Right. A couple of turnovers for the Hornets, and they gave up a safety, which we haven't seen as well. So we just haven't seen the big play. We're always used to seeing it every game this year. We've had big plays, and the Henley offense just hasn't had a chance to break one yet, and I'm sure they're working on it right now at halftime, and we'll see a little more offense in the second half from Henley.
First drive of the game for the Hornets went 12 plays and 73 yards in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Luke Bennett capped it off with a touchdown catch. Since then, the Hornets have gone 3 and out on every other possession aside from one at the end of that first half when Logan Whitlock coughed up the football and Crook County fell on it for a fumble recovery. That is uncharacteristic of the Henley offense, just like you said.
Yep.
But faith in this coaching staff led by Coach Alex Stork and the offensive coordinator, Coach Pashy, for having a game plan hopefully coming out in the third quarter.
Yeah, well, all the things we just mentioned, and Henley's only down 3 in a playoff game, and they get the ball first.
Yes, they do.
So I think Henley should feel fortunate. You have to just believe that they'll get things rolling here and have a successful second half.
Well, we're going to take a break here on the halftime show. When we come back, we'll try to dig up some scores from around the state. It is a night of the first round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union playoffs around the state of Oregon tonight, and we'll try to find some scores for you as we continue tonight's coverage. After 24 minutes, Crook County leads the Henley Hornets 9-6. Third quarter action and halftime coverage continues on 104.3 and 60 Sports HD video tonight on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Honda and Clown Falls Subaru. I've lived here my whole life. Most of our employees have lived here their whole life too. Our sales, service, parts, and body shop teams are all staffed with experienced local folks. You know them and they know you. Our dealerships are comfortable and not corporate. Comfortable means we're focused on you. I'm Rob, and I'm glad to know you.
Wondering if you're good.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
And welcome you back on the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs at halftime here at Viking Field in Klamath Falls. The Henley Hornets trailing the Crook County Cowboys 9-6 at halftime. We've got a few other games that we're keeping tabs on tonight, and special thanks to the folks at Mid-Major Media on Twitter for tweeting out some of these live scores they're able to take advantage of. At halftime, number 6 Tillamook leading Woodburn 12-0, and apparently a pretty windy one out there in Tillamook, according to the folks reporting on that one as well. So Tillamook ahead in their opening round matchup. Trying to find some other scores here. About a half hour ago, as we neared halftime at Scappoose, they led Marshfield 14-6. Marshfield scoring to close the half there. Trying to find any of these other scores. It looks like that might be it in terms of 4A scores, but still a little bit of a picture drawn for you as we take a look at the other matchups happening tonight. Again, no scores for these, but we will remind you that Junction City, the 12 seed, visiting number 5 Estacada tonight. Gladstone on the road at number 3 Marist. We mentioned the Tillamook Cheesemakers up on Woodburn 12-0. Pendleton taking on Staten tonight in the 7-10 matchup. No score update there, as well as the LeGrand Cascade matchup. That is the 2 versus 15 game happening towards the bottom of the bracket. And then one game happening tomorrow in the state. The number 1 Mazama Vikings playing right here at Viking Field against the 16 seed Seaside Seagulls. And Henley going to have to do a little work against Crook County in this second half. They trail by just 3, 9-6. After the first half, they will get the football back to begin the second half when we come back and we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We've got HD video tonight on mybasin.com. Keep it here.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Winding down halftime tonight at Mazama High School. The Henley Hornets back out onto the field, trying to get pumped up for a second half in which they are down 3. And the Hornets going to really have to band together. Kev, you and I were talking a little bit during that last break about how Crook County, especially in that second quarter, really seemed to suck up all the momentum in this building. And Henley's got to find a way to get it back. They looked a little lethargic maybe at the end of that second quarter. They got to find a way to pump back up and get back in this football game.
Exactly. You want to keep a close eye on these first 4 or 5 minutes because it's going to be a real indicator of how the game's going to go. If Henley comes out strong, moves the football, that's what you want to see as a Hornet fan. If they struggle a little bit, it's going to be a long second half. So this first possession will be really important for Henley.
Guys, you want to get behind if you're Henley. Get the ball in the hands of your game players and playmakers. Shaw Stork, who carried the ball, I might add, quite a bit on their opening drive of the football game. He's rushed for 500 yards this season and 7 touchdowns. He's also thrown for 1,288 yards this season and 20 touchdowns, if you include the touchdown that he threw tonight. The other guy you want to get the ball in the hands of, Logan Whitlock, the number 1 rusher in the state with 1,277 yards, the number 1 rushing scorer in the state with 22 touchdowns. He's 4 ahead of anyone else in that category. And, you're missing a guy like Owen Sheen tonight. The wide receiver is not with us, but Luke Bennett has made a touchdown catch. He would be second on the team in touchdown receptions at 6 this year. And almost 500 yards receiving. This is a kind of game where you're down. It's low scoring. If you want to get the momentum back, you know who to give the ball to, Kevin. I think it's one of those 3 guys unless someone else stands up and makes a play.
Yep, definitely. The offense needs to get going, and we've seen them do it plenty of times. We should note that the defense has played very well for Henley. They only gave up 1 touchdown.
Certainly.
Against a good team here in the playoffs. So defense doing a nice job keeping the Hornets in the game. And then the offense, we've talked about them all year. A couple of their assets is their maturity. They're very good. The coaching staff as well, very patient. They'll take their time. They'll get it right. And also their ability to score quickly and their versatility. They can throw or they can pass, whatever the situation needs. So we'll keep an eye on this offense here. They will get the ball first in this half.
I think certainly you're right. The confidence needs to come back for the Hornets. And before we start this second half, we will update you on one other score happening out of state, but still concerning the Oregon State Beavers in a Pac-12 matchup. By the way, ranked 23rd in the country, ranked for the first time since 2013 against Washington. And after a quarter, they lead the Huskies on a rainy night in Seattle 7-0. We'll try to keep you updated on that score as we continue tonight's broadcast as well. As it looks like we are nearly ready for the third quarter of action. Appreciate you being with us tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com. My name is Josh Eldridge. Along with me, Kevin Petrick and Caitlin Rodriguez running tonight's live stream for you on mybasin.com. This is the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs. The opening round matchup between the Crook County Cowboys and the Henley Hornets. Crook County kicking things off, but they do lead by 3, 9-6. Here we go. The kick is up. Luke Bennett fielding that one from the 1. He's going to take it up past the 10, trying to find some room in the middle of the field. To the 20, now to the 25, the 30. Bennett wrapped up, but stays on his feet up past the 35, now to the 40. Right in the sideline, cuts back to the 50. Now across the middle of the field to the 45, down at the 42. And a big return for Luke Bennett. 41 yards on the return, gets the Hornets into Crook County territory and hopefully injecting some life into that sideline.
That was a terrific run back. And Crook County wasn't able to put that one in the end zone. And anytime you get these Henley players running the football, they're dangerous. They're quick.
The Hornets will be going from right to left across your radio dial into Crook County territory. Again, not quite at the 42, our mistake there. It's about the 43-yard line, and the Hornets offense looking to grab some momentum here early in this second half. It is going to be a keeper for Stork, trying to find some room up the middle. Gets off of one defender, brought down at the 41. A gain of 2 or 3 brings up second down for the Hornets.
That was a good hard run. He earned those yards. We're looking at about 2nd and 7, maybe 8.
Hornets coming from the near side. They haven't thrown the ball too much tonight. Again, missing their top receiver in Owen Sheen. Trying to rely on the running game, which has worked this season. We'll see what they do here on a 2nd and 7 into Crook County territory. Quick play action pass. It's going to be caught by Janney. He's up to the 40, now to the 35, brought down at the 30. And a good catch there. Was that Bennett on the reception?
That was Bennett. That's that little play they like to do where they just take one step back, the quarterback, and make a quick throw and let that receiver try to beat the defender. And Luke did beat him that time. Nice gain for a first down.
Hornets' 5th first down of the night. After that scoring drive, they were held to 3 separate 3-and-outs in that second quarter. Here's Henley now, 1st and 10, though, driving into Crook County territory at their 30. It's going to be a handoff to Whitlock, trying to find some room along the outside, up past the 25, inside the 20, staying on his feet to the 15, to the 10. Whitlock into the end zone for a Henley touchdown.
Impressive opening drive for Henley. Good blocking on that far side. And you give Logan a little bit of room, and he'll take it all the way. And just like that, Henley's back on top.
They're up 12-9, and they're going to rely on the freshman leg of Julian Reyes to kick this extra point through the uprights. The hold from Janney, the kick is up, and it is good. The Henley Hornets, that's more characteristic. They're up 13-9 after the quick touchdown. It took the Hornets 3 plays to go 41 yards, capping it off with a 30-yard Logan Whitlock touchdown. That's Logan's 23rd score of the season, leading the state in that category, and the Hornets reclaim the lead 13-9.
That is a lot more what we're used to. That was a quick scoring drive. Sometimes you enter the playoff games, they're so important, and it could be the end of your season. Teams will come out, they might be a little conservative or a little tentative, but the second half, boy, Henley opened it up just the way you want to.
We'd like to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Refuel after the game at Mountain Mike's. You've earned a pizza made with 100% whole milk mozzarella and toppings piled so high that you'll need a mountain guide to reach the top. Mountain Mike's Pizza on Washburn near Walmart Shopping Center. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. It's now the Hornets to kick off to the Cowboys.
And this will be interesting to see how Crook County responds.
Certainly.
Because they were moving the football pretty well at the end of the half. So we'll see what they do with it.
And Reyes to kick off. It's going to rattle around at the 20. Bringing it up to the 35. Past the 35 for Crook County. That was Vaughn on the return for the Cowboys. And they will mark it down at the 37. That's where Crook County will take over with 10:53 to go in the third quarter.
Jason Kern and Owen Northcutt on the bottom of the pile on that special team stop.
Gavin Sandoval leading his Cowboys back out onto the field. The quarterback is going to play action pass to Smith, trying to look left down the far sideline. That pass is incomplete. Down by the 30. A good arm and a good throw there by Sandoval, but the Hornets there on the defense. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Let me tell you, that could have easily been a touchdown, and that defensive back on the far side made up ground in a hurry, and it was none other than Shaw Stork, who's out there playing defense tonight. He's been out there a few times. It's a good thing he was out there that time because he used his speed to knock that pass down.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cowboys. They put Freyoff in motion as he lines up next to the quarterback. Gouze in motion as well. This is going to be a handoff to Smith, trying to come along the left. He's up to the 40, brought down past the 40 at about the 41 or 2 yard line. That second down play earns the Cowboys 5. It'll be 3rd and 5.
McCoy and Fox helping out on the tackle there.
3rd down tonight for the Cowboys. We mentioned it during the halftime break. In 9 attempts, they have converted 5 times. Hornets defense looking to get off the field. 3rd and 5 from the Cowboys 42. It's going to be a handoff to Smith, and he is wrapped up and brought down at the 49, a gain of 6 and a Cowboys first.
That was a good run. Owen Northcutt had the jersey back near the line of scrimmage, but he just couldn't bring him down before he picked up the first.
1st and 10. Cowboys still on their own side of the field at the 49. Play action pass. Sandoval again looking left to Freyoff, and he's got him. Oh, but Freyoff drops the ball in open field. Heartbreaking again, and Freyoff kicks the ball to show his frustration. And those are the ones that stick with you as a wide receiver. He had a zip code to himself and couldn't rein it in.
He was wide open on the far sideline, and you know, Henley's been fortunate to have a couple of balls just dropped. Crook County has had that happen a couple times tonight.
It'll be 2nd and 10. Crook County still at their own 49-yard line. This will be a handoff to Smith. He is hit at the 50, falls forward for a gain of 2 at the Henley 49. Will bring up 3rd and 8.
Looks like Harper hit him first, and then Nolan Northcutt finished him off. And that brings up 3rd and long. This would be a good time for the Hornets. Get off the field here.
Cowboys, this is their 11th time facing 3rd down tonight. They've converted 6 times already. Here we go, 3rd and 9. Sandoval calls for the snap. Sandoval looks to go left, now rolling to his right. Out of the pocket, trying to find a receiver downfield. He finds Freyoff at the 30. He's up to the 25, now spins at the 20. Brought down at the 19, and another big gain by Crook County's leading receiver tonight, Luke Freyoff.
That's another situation where there was just too much time to throw. Freyoff actually completed his route all the way to the sideline and then just did some freestyle, just tried to find a gap, and he found one, and he ended up catching the football.
It'll be 1st and 10. The Cowboys in the red zone now at the 19-yard line into Henley territory. Sandoval calling for the snap. A handoff to Smith. Finds some room along the left. He's brought down after a gain of 8, 2nd down.
Another good line surge from Crook County that time. Big gain on 1st down.
Hornets lead 13-9 with 8.5 to go in the 3rd quarter, but the Cowboys are driving. It'll be 2nd and 3 from about the 14, about the 13. Sandoval, another handoff to Smith, this time wrapped up and wrestled down. Short gain on the play will bring up 3rd and 3.
That was a good tackle. Ortiz was there in a hurry. Almost no gain there, 3rd down.
The Hornets defense looking to get off the field. Crook County has converted on 7 of 11 attempts on 3rd down. Sandoval trying to find some time to throw. Back in the pocket, he unleashes one that is incomplete around the 10. And that is incomplete. Didn't see a single Crook County receiver over there. You got to wonder what is intentional grounding, as that will bring up 4th down.
They're talking, the referees are talking here. They may.
I think the main question is, was he outside of the tackle box? And
right.
Yeah, that's questionable.
Cooper Groh was all over him. A lot of pressure, and they're trying to decide if.
So no flag.
He was threw the football just to avoid a sack.
And I think Coach Stork asking the near referee Darren Rutledge about that call, and no flag. It'll be 4th and 3 coming up for the Cowboys in Henley territory. This one coming from the 13. The yard to gain is the 10. Sandoval, another play action pass, rolling to his right, feels pressure from both sides, and the Hornets are there to wrap him up for a huge sack.
Balky and Owen Northcutt with a huge sack. That was a huge play on 4th down. And that's twice now. Henley stopped Crook County on a 4th down near the goal line.
The Hornets will take over at the 21 as Sandoval lost 7 yards on that play. And the Hornets, who lead 13-9 with 7:31 to go in the third quarter, will take possession.
That was great timing. If there was ever a time to storm the quarterback, that was it. Well done by the Hornets defense.
First and 10, Henley at their own 21 as they go from right to left towards the east goal at Mazama High School. Shaw trying to direct traffic, sees linebackers moving around. This is going to be a handoff to Whitlock. Runs up the middle for a small gain of 1 or 2 yards. Will bring up second down for Henley.
There was a hole there for just a second, but the Cowboys did a good job of closing that gap and making a quick stop. It'll be second down and 8.
And Shaw, with Whitlock to his left, has 3 receivers to his left and Bennett to his right. Stork, a design QB keeper, coming to the near side, tries to cut up field at the 20, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, maybe 1. It will bring up third for the Hornets, third and about 6.
He had numbers on that side and blockers out front. Was able to pick up a few. It's a big third down here for Henley.
Hornets looking to avoid another 3 and out. Stork trying to find a quick receiver downfield. The pass is caught past the 50 to the 45. A huge catch for Luke Bennett. And the Hornets flip field position and a huge first down.
Those two really have some chemistry. Stork to Bennett. That was just like a timing route clear across the field. Stork just took a couple step drop and let it rip. It was right on the money. Good catch.
That's the Hornets' first third down conversion since the first drive of the game. They're now 2 for 8 and driving into Crook County territory.
Great play.
Marking it past the 45 down at the 44-yard line. A keeper for Stork as he goes out to the right, tries to get up to the 40. The ball, I believe, might have popped loose but gone out of bounds along the Crook County sideline.
Yeah, that was a lucky break. The ball was fumbled, but it was fumbled out of bounds. So no harm there.
And so maybe a gain of 1, maybe no gain at all. It'll be second and 10 coming up for Henley. One receiver to the near side is Bennett. Stork looking to the near side, but he finds Whitlock in open space up to the 45, now the 40. Whitlock trying to cut to the near sideline to the 35, now to the 30 as Whitlock stays on his feet before being brought down. And a gain of 14 on the play for the running back and a Hornets first down.
That was a good route. You always want to get the ball to Whitlock when you can, and he just flared out to the near side, and Shaw just kind of looped it over the defense to him, and he had plenty of room to run. First down pickup.
It'll be first and 10 for the Hornets in Crook County territory at the 30. And this is where Whitlock scored from last drive. They're going to play action. Whitlock looking over the middle. The pass is caught inside the 10, down at the 5. And that was another reception by Luke Bennett. That was Janney.
That was Janney, and that was good play action. Froze the defense, made a nice throw down the middle.
Hornets offense putting something together, a handoff up the middle. Gets Whitlock past the 5 into the 3 or 4 yard line. Will bring up second and goal.
Henley showing they can do it through the air on this drive. Passing game key here in the third quarter for the Hornets.
They've certainly unleashed it, as it'll be second and goal from the 3 for Henley. Officially from the 4, pardon me. Stork having to scramble, trying to get to the outside, has a little bit of room, has a blocker, and he is into the end zone for a Hornets touchdown.
That was a gutty run, and he was met with a hard hit at the goal line. The snap was a little bit high, and Henley couldn't run the play they wanted to, and so Shaw had to just keep it and find an avenue to the right side, and he was able to score.
And a player down over there in the end zone. As the trainers head out there, we will take a break, and when we return, we will have Henley kick this extra point. They lead 19-9 over the Crook County Cowboys. 4:18 to go in the third quarter, and we'll be back with the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoff on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video tonight on my.com.
Us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
The injured player up and off the field. The Hornets up 19-9 and awaiting an extra point kick from the freshman Reyes, trying to put the Hornets up by 11 with 4:18 to go in the third. The kick is up, and it is good. The Hornets now lead by a score of 20-9 in the third quarter. 4:18 left to go, and we'll remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab does more than install just tires and wheels. You can come on in for a free pre-trip safety check, and they're going to make sure that everything's in working order at Les Schwab Tires. That drive for the Hornets lasted about 4 minutes, call it 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Took them 9 plays and 69 yards. Shaw Stork capped it off with a 4-yard touchdown run. Rushing touchdowns for Stork this season. Marked that as number 8 on the year, and Henley up 20-9.
In close games this year, Henley's played very well in the second half. We're always impressed with how they can close football games, and they've played from behind pretty well a few times. They were behind at Seaside. They were behind in Mazama a couple times and were able to close that gap and tie the game. So Henley doing all the right things here in the second half. Just over 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
The Hornets will kick off to the Cowboys. Back to receive for Crook County. It's a pair of fellas, Austin Vaughn and Cooper Nelson, each juniors.
That was a big turnaround, Josh, from that fourth down.
Yes.
Defensively, Henley make that stop and then get that score. Really, really changed the game.
The freshman Reyes to kick things off, 5'4", 105 pounds. The kick. It's going to be kicked around by Vaughn. He's trying to find room by the 15, gets up to the 20, finally wrestled down before reaching the 25, down at the 24. That is where Crook County will take over.
Nolan Northcutt, Tyler Harper making the stop, and those little kicks where they hit the ground and they kind of wobble down the field, they're hard to handle. They've had a couple times tonight where Crook County hasn't been able to cleanly field the football, and it's helped Henley's coverage.
And so Crook County back out onto the field. It'll be 1st and 10. They actually marked it up to the 25. Sandoval dropping back to pass is going to dump it out to Smith. Out of the backfield, Smith running laterally across the field, gets back to the line of scrimmage before being knocked out of bounds. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and he got a couple yards. 2nd and 8 coming up for Crook County.
I think that was Owen Northcutt. Good pursuit. He strung that play clear to the far sideline. and made the tackle.
So now the Cowboys at the 27-yard line, still in their own territory. A sweep handoff to the near side, wrapped up and wrestled down, and in the backfield as well, a loss of 4. Brings up 3rd and 11.
Good discipline by Chris Janney. He kept his lane on the outside, and when that ball reversed to the near side of the field, he was there for the stop. Very good play, bringing up 3rd and long.
Crook County tonight again has had success on 3rd down in 12 attempts. They've converted 7 times. And they've also converted 1 3rd and 11 already tonight. Sandoval calls for the snap, drops back, looks to his right, fires a pass across the field, and it is incomplete. The intended target was Husted across the middle of the field, but that will bring up 4th and 11 and likely a punting situation for the Cowboys.
That was also a pretty good throw. There were a lot of defensive players for Henley back there, but he threaded that needle pretty well. It's catchable.
Crook County, no, they're keeping the offense out there, it looks like. 4th and 11 at the 25. No, back up to punt is Smith. The punt bounces at the 50. Bennett fields it at the 45, brings it now up past the 50, now to the 45. Brought down at the 43-yard line, and a decent return by Bennett on a ball that skipped right to him. Henley takes it in Crook County territory at about the 43.
I'm telling you, I like his style when he returns those kicks. He's like a shortstop. He won't let anything get past him. He will field those, and it really saves Henley a lot of field position when he's able to catch those balls and not let them roll down the field. So another good return from Bennett.
Hornets take over with 3:36 to go in the 3rd quarter. They lead 20-9. And in Crook County territory, the Hornets offense continuing to find their mojo in the second half. 3 receivers going to be lined up to the near side. Bennett on his lonesome to the right of Stork. Whitlock to his left. Hornets in Crook County territory. Stork calls for the snap. Looks quickly to his right, finds Bennett up to the 40, now to the 35. Bennett finally wrestled down at the 30. It looks like there might have been a loose ball at the 30. Crook County sideline maybe thinks they have it, but we're waiting for a decision. Doesn't seem to be too many players jumping around, so I think Henley retained possession, and they will. That will be a gain of about 13 and a Hornets first down.
The ball carrier was down, so good completion. Or is it incomplete? I thought he could.
Was there a block in the back against
Henley? There was a
Henley?
penalty.
Okay, there was a penalty. Okay.
I was a little bit confused why they were moving the stick the other direction, but that's what happened. So that play will come back.
So, yeah, big loss of yards on that one for Henley. They're back on their own side of the field at the 44. This will be 1st and about 20. Stork dropping back to pass, takes a couple of steps to his right, tries to find a receiver, and he does along the 40. A nice gain and pickup of about 12. That was Bennett on the reception again. Will bring up 2nd down for Henley.
That's a good play. When you have 1st and really long like that, you don't have to pick it all up at one shot. Go for about half of it. That was a good completion, giving them a decent 2nd down and 7.
2nd down and, call it 7, maybe a long 6. The Hornets right at the 40 on the other side of midfield, and our white cap, Robbie Cesania, coming down towards the 50.
I think they might be trying to adjust the clock.
Right, okay. Well, that gives us time to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin. At 1919 Austrian Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. There you see, if you're watching on mybasin.com, Henley leads 20-9 with 3:03 left to go in the 3rd. And they have possession. It'll be 2nd and about 7 from the Crook County 40. in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs. Here we go. Second down for the Hornets. It's going to be a handoff to Whitlock, trying to come to the near side. He is wrapped up and brought down past the 35, down to the 31, and a first down for the Hornets.
Some good patient running that time by Whitlock. Kind of waited for his blocks to develop, then accelerated through them and picked up a first down.
First down Hornets. They actually marked it at the 32. Driving into Crook County territory once more. They lead 20-9 with 2:44 to go in the third quarter. Stork, quick pass to the near side, coming along the near sideline, 25-20, inside the 15, down to the 11 for the Hornets. That was another reception by Luke Bennett, and those two have found something in this second half.
Their chemistry has been very good, and they're on either side of the field. He'll line up on the right side. He'll line up that time. He was on the left side, and that was that play we've seen for the second time tonight. Just a quick throw and let Luke make his own room down there, pick up some yards.
It looks like there might be a penalty, and we'll try to find out what it is. Was it a legal forward pass, or is that a legal man downfield?
That's a legal man downfield, I believe.
So this one is coming back.
It's unfortunate for the Hornets. That was a good play.
Second big penalty of this drive will make it 1st and 15. Yard to gain is the Crook County 23. First down for the Hornets. Stork calls for the snap. Drops back to pass, has some time, looks near side to Whitlock. He catches it at the 35, has a blocker downfield to the 35, the 30. Now down inside the 20, and brought down at the 15. A big gain for Whitlock and a Hornets first down.
Both times they've thrown the ball to Logan. It's worked out very well. He just kind of floats out of the backfield, and the defense kind of forgets to account for him, and he's wide open and picked up a bundle of yards.
Get him into open space, and that man can be dangerous. 1st and 10, Hornets at the Crook County 15. It's a reverse for Whitlock. He's got a little bit of room, but he is wrapped up at the 10 and wrestled down, maybe at the 11. Solid gain, though, for Logan. It'll be 2nd and about 6.
It's a good push from the line on that left side for a good gain.
Here we go, 2nd and 6 for the Hornets at the Crook County 12. Another handoff to Whitlock, finds some room along the right side, bounces inside the 5, into the end zone, and a Hornets touchdown. 26-9 with 1:15 to go in the third, and Whitlock punching it in for the second time tonight.
That run was meant to go left, and he made a great cutback and cut back against the grain and found his way all the way into the end zone. Excellent run for a touchdown.
And another player down, unsure who it is, but we will stick with you through this timeout in the action. That touchdown from Logan Whitlock, his 2nd of the night, state leading 24th touchdown of the season. That drive taking the Hornets 43 yards in 7 plays and about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That's the quick strike offense that we've known from the Hornets, and so far that's the offense that showed up in this second half, very contrary to the first half offense that Henley had.
It's like a different team in this third quarter. Henley offense is just clicking again, and sometimes that happens. You make some adjustments, you come up against a very good opponent, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get things worked out, but the Henley offense in this quarter just playing very, very well.
Henley leads 26-9. And the freshman Julian Reyes to do the honors on the extra point attempt. Minimal wind here in Klamath Falls tonight. Janney, the snap, the hold, the kick, and it is good. The Hornets lead 27-9 in the third quarter. With a minute 15 left, they have scored 21 unanswered points against Crook County. The 4-seed Hornets starting to look like their usual selves, but still a lot of football to go. They've got to hold on through the rest of this third quarter and the fourth quarter. We'll have all of the coverage for you tonight on 104.3 960 Sports HD video on mybasin.com. The Hornets defense, as they get ready to take the field, have forced a turnover on downs and a punt in this second half, and the defense really hasn't changed up too much, but Kev, you and I were just talking about the offense. It's really them who found their rhythm.
Yeah, the offense has picked it up. The defense has been solid all game. They've also had a good third quarter. Crook County had 9 at half, and they still have 9. Defense doing their job for Henley.
And so it will be Reyes to kick off for Henley.
Reyes done a nice job tonight with the extra points.
Certainly he has, and he's got quite the boot in the kickoff too.
He's made this a 3-score game with his extra points, and that's crucial in any playoff game.
Reyes with the kick will be fielded at the 15 by Vaughn. Brings it up past the 20, now to the 30. Has some room past the 35, stays on his feet past the 40. He's now past the 50, to the 45, the 40. Vaughn has room inside the 25, the 20, the 15, 10-5. Touchdown for Crook County.
That was an excellent run back. He had some good blocking in the middle of the field to help him along. And once he got to the outside sideline, he turned it into 6 points.
That was Edward Freoff, the junior on the play there. 6'4", running that one the distance. Call it about a 89-yard kick return. And that brings Crook County back within 27-15. And we'll see here as they try to go for 2. Out onto the field is Sandoval with Smith to his right. Sandoval dropping back, rolling to his right, trying to dump it into the end zone. The pass is incomplete, and the score will remain 27-15 Hornets.
That was Fox back there with good defense stopping that conversion. He broke up that pass. Oh, wait a minute.
Are we talking about maybe a pass interference call in the end zone? That was the only. There's a flag down at the 10.
I did not see the penalty at first, so we'll see what this is about. The conversion was no good.
But we have to see if maybe there's a penalty after the fact. Our officiating crew tonight, some of the best the Klamath Basin has to offer. Our referee tonight, Robbie Cesania, Darren Rutledge, the umpire. 2 line judges, Keanu McCune and Zachary Weeding. Tim Murphy, the back judge.
Looks like there was a tripping penalty against Crook County, and of course Henley will decline, so the conversion is no good, and the lead stays at 12.
Quite the return, though, there by Freoff, and brought Crook County back within 12 points.
Special teams, that's a good way to get yourself back in a ball game. Get a long return like that, and just like that, they're down 12. 27-15, just over a minute left to play here in the third.
Hornets, the 4 seed coming into this season's playoffs. The number 2 team out of the Big Sky Conference. Crook County, the number 3 team out of Special District 5. They are 13th in the state. And come here to Klamath tonight. They've played a good game of football, especially in that first half. And their defense has still looked good here, and they'll be kicking off to the Hornets.
Yeah, I like their attitude. They really came in. I mean, they're used to playing on the east side of the mountains. They've seen good teams this year. I don't think that they're not surprised. They came to play, and they've done very well here.
Bennett and Whitlock back to receive. They're stationed at about the 5. The kick is up. It's going to be fielded by Bennett at the 1. He's taking it out. Past the 10, trying to cut across the far side of the field to the 15, not quite to the 20. Down at the 19, and that is where the Hornets will start this possession.
That was a good kickoff. It was right in the corner at about the 1 or the 2 yard line. That's right where you want to put it. And it forced Luke to bring it out. He almost got to the 20. And the Hornets will start there.
55 seconds to go in the third quarter. Henley leads 27-15 in this opening round playoff matchup. The winner of tonight's game will play either Junction City or Estacada next week. It's going to be a keeper for Stork, trying to find some room along the right side. Stork to the 25, up to the 30, has a blocker downfield to the 35. A big gain by Stork, 15-plus yards, and a Hornets first down.
When he's able to run to that wide side of the field, when the ball is placed on this hash mark over here, it really helps him with his speed. He gets a lot of momentum, a lot of speed on the outside, and he can pick up a lot of yards.
And it looks like a penalty coming against Henley, so take away the first down, and this one's coming back again.
That's a shame. That was a good pickup. Have to replay first down.
It'll be 1st and 15 from the 14 for Henley. Backed up in their own territory. Stork, a handoff to Whitlock. He powers through the line, has some room, spins around to the 30. He's got room to the 45, crosses midfield at the 50, cuts across the field, finally brought down past the 40 at the 37. Logan Whitlock turned on the Jets and flipped field position again, and a big play puts the Hornets in Cowboys territory.
We had a spin move or two in that run, and it was a big gain. How many times have we seen Henley with some adversity, some long yardage situations or penalties, and they just keep plugging away? And that was a good gain on 1st and 15.
It'll now be 1st and 10 for the Hornets in Crook County territory at the 38. The Hornets might be looking to wind down the clock unless, I'm not quite sure. Looks like the officials are coming in. The clock is stopped at 8 seconds. No, it started to roll. Apologies there. And that will end the third quarter. The Hornets lead 27-15, and they're going to be in Crook County territory when we come back in your continuing coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports HD video tonight on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
We're back on 104.3 and 960 Sports as the Henley Hornets lead 27-15 over Crook County here in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union playoffs. And the Cowboys call a timeout to open things up in this.
That's kind of strange. You don't see that very often, coming out of a quarter break.
Well, you know what you don't see very often, Kev, is a Henley player underneath a tent on the track trying to dig something out as a gust of wind. It's not too windy. It's about 9-mile-an-hour winds here in Klamath. And there they go. We got some guys fixing up the training tent.
We had a tent malfunction during that break.
Appreciate you watching with us tonight on mybasin.com. You see the team building with coaches and players alike trying to fix this thing. Of course, Henley football on mybasin.com all season long, thanks to the wonderful folks at Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Here we go. 1st and 10 Hornets to begin the fourth quarter. It's going to be a keeper for Shaw up past the Crook County 40, down to the 35, and Shaw Stork past the 30, down to the 29. And that looks to be a gain of about 9.5. It'll be second and about a foot for Henley.
That's a great carry on first down. Second and very short. This is where you can be creative sometimes.
Into Crook County territory. You're at their 29-yard line. Stork with Harper and Bennett to the near side and a couple of wide receivers to the other side. They're just going to hand it off to Whitlock, who gets wrapped up quickly, but battles through contact, moves upfield for a gain of 2, but there is a flag down by the 30. And we'll sort this out. Here we go with the signal. It's a face masking call against Crook County, so this one is going to be moving up.
Worked out well for Henley. Get a first down, and they get a few more yards. First and 10.
First and 10, now inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. Stork, play action pass. Looking deep into the end zone. The pass is incomplete and a flag in the end zone. And the official was right there. We'll see what the call is. And I believe it's going to end up being pass interference. It's just, who is it? It gets against Crook County. And that will move them even closer to the end zone.
Another good throw by Shaw Stork. He put that ball right where he needed to. The defender wasn't playing the ball. He was playing Luke Bennett back there, and he drew a flag.
It'll be first and goal, Hornets from the Crook County 9. Trying to get the Cowboys on the hard count. And now gathering the sign from Coach Paschy along the near sideline. Here we go, first and goal at the 9 for the Hornets. It's going to be a keeper for Shaw. He finds himself up inside the 5, brought down at the 4. A solid gain on the play brings up second and goal for the Hornets. They lead 27-15 as we just crossed the 11-minute mark to go in the fourth quarter.
Another good play on first down. Henley's had some nice first down plays here this second half, making things a little bit easier for them.
Second and goal from the 5 is where it's going to be marked. Shaw with Logan behind him. A high snap. Shaw going to try to keep it himself. He is wrapped up and brought down. A loss of 2 on the play will bring up third and goal from the 7, I should say.
Garrett Stefanek with a nice play for Crook County. They read that play very well. And that puts Henley in a third down situation, third and goal.
Henley tonight hasn't had a ton of luck on third down. They are 2 for 8 on such attempts. Stork drops back to pass, rolling to the near side, trying to look over the middle. The pass is caught in the end zone for a Henley touchdown. That's Chris Janney's first touchdown catch of the night, and the Hornets lead 33-15.
Good throw. Janney was dragging the back of the end zone. He just kept making his way across the end zone. Shaw found a little hole back there, put the ball right on the money. Henley passing game looking very sharp tonight, Josh, especially here in the second half.
Reyes to kick. The extra point. Janney with the hold. The kick from Reyes is no good. Must have been wide right. And the score will remain 33-15. The Hornets lead with 9:45 to go in the final frame. We'll be back as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video tonight on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
Yeah, they started about the 19, remember, I think. Is that right?
7 plays and 81 yards for the Hornets, and it took them about 4 minutes to do it, capping it off with a Chris Janney touchdown catch from 7 yards out for Chris Janney this season. His 5th touchdown catch put the Hornets up 33-15 in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video tonight on mybasin.com. Reyes and the Hornets to kick things off to the Cowboys. It's going to be fielded by Freyoff at about the 15. He cuts upfield at the 30, turning on the Jets at the 35, brought down past the 40. He kept on chugging to the 45. And a good return of about 30-plus yards there for the Cowboys, and they take over at their own 45-yard line, trailing 33-15.
Another good return on special teams. They took the last one all the way back for a touchdown. And this one is approaching midfield at the 45.
Crook County's offense hasn't seen the field since 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. You mentioned they got that score, but it was a special teams touchdown.
Right.
In that third quarter, that Henley defense pitched a shutout, looking to continue that here. 1st and 10 from the Crook County 45. Sandoval drops back to pass. Looking along the left side, throws into double coverage, and the pass is incomplete. Intended target along the far sideline was Edward Freyoff, the junior, 6'4". He's a big target, but Hornets had him double covered. Incomplete pass, 2nd down looming.
It's a good play by Mark Carpenter over there. That ball had a lot of air under it. He was able to get over there plenty of time. A good defensive play.
2nd and 10 for the Cowboys from their own 45. Play action pass. Sandoval, lots of time to throw. Rolls to his right. A sidearm throw is popped up, and the Hornets, 4 of them there, but that football found no man's land. Incomplete pass, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that pass was thrown right in the middle of the field into a lot of defensive traffic, and it did pop up in the air. The chance for an interception, but they'll take the incompletion. 3rd down, 10 coming up.
Hornets defense has been successful in the second half on stopping Crook County from converting on 3rd down. They are 0 for 2 in this second half. Here we go on their 3rd try, 3rd and 10 from their 45. Play action pass. Sandoval looking to the near side. It is caught for a gain of 11 and a 1st down. Elijah Freyoff on the reception. And tapping the toes for a Cowboys 1st down.
Elijah's good at that. He's done that a few times tonight.
Sure.
He runs those sideline routes and gets both feet inbounds. That was a good pass play.
1st and 10 Cowboys, now into Henley territory at the 44. Sandoval, again a play action pass, feels pressure to his left, rolling to his right. He hurls one downfield. The pass is tipped, and
he caught that.
Did he really? Wow, what a fantastic catch by Eustadt. The ball was tipped. He came diving in for a huge catch, and maybe an even better throw from the quarterback Sandoval off his back foot. He unfurled it about 20 yards.
Yeah,
wow.
Owen Northcutt had all the pressure you would want. Forced a bad throw, but a lucky tip and a big gain.
1st and 10, Cowboys into Henley territory past the 25. Sandoval will try to fire one to Eustadt. That will be incomplete. It'll be 2nd down from the Henley 24.
That was almost a miraculous catch right there. He dove and put one hand out there, almost made the grab, but it was incomplete. That was a crazy play, that previous play. The pass was intended for a different receiver.
Right.
But he missed the catch and tipped it to the other Crook County player.
2nd and 10, the Cowboys driving at the Henley 24. Sandoval back to pass again, fires over the middle. The pass is caught inside the 5 brought down before reaching the end zone. In on the catch for Crook County that time was Caleb Guzet, the senior fullback for the Cowboys. Puts him at 1st and goal as they trail 33-15 with 8:45 to go in the ball game. A handoff to Smith, and a touchdown for Crook County from about 3 yards out.
Crook County with some aggressive passing on that drive.
They had to. They got to find a way back into this game, and with the clock against them, they're back within 12. Trying to make it a 10-point game, possibly with a 2-point conversion. And that's what they do. Sandoval puts Guzet in motion again. Drops back to pass. Rolling to his right. Trying to scramble for the pylon, and he is in. And converting there on the 2-point conversion, making it a 10-point game. The score 33-23 Hornets. With 8:43 left to go in the game, that drive for the Cowboys lasting just a shade over 50 seconds, but they ran a lot of plays. 7 plays on that drive, and a score for Palmer Smith, his first touchdown of the night.
That was a good drive from Crook County, and on that conversion, it was meant to be a pass play. But Sandoval saw a lot of room and just had enough speed to just get into that corner and pick up the 2 points and close the gap to 10.
Henley will try and get the football back here. They have scored on each of their 3 drives in this half. Trying to continue that streak. They've gone on long runs like that where they just continue to score. Hoping to continue that here in this playoff game. The kick is an attempted onside kick, and the Hornets will fall on it. Past the 50 at about the 47 or 48 yard line in their own territory. That's where the Hornets will take over with 8:45 to go in the ball game.
That was well handled by Thomas Bakke. Onside kicks are always tricky, but he had good hands over there and fell on the football. And the Hornets will get it right near midfield to start this drive.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals. 1st and 10 Hornets from their own 49-yard line. Stork is going to hand it off to Whitlock, coming to the near side, spins around at the 50, stays on his feet at the 45, now moving to the 40, to the 35. Whitlock's got room, past the 25, the 20, inside the 10, into the 5, a touchdown for the Hornets on the first play of the drive. Whitlock from 51 yards out makes the score 39-23 Hornets.
Those of you watching the live stream just saw a treat. That's one of the best high school runs you'll see. I thought he was stopped twice.
Yeah.
I mean, he was stopped twice, and he spun out of those tackles, driving those legs 2 different times, and then broke to the sideline and scored the touchdown. What a run.
That's Whitlock's 3rd touchdown of the night, showing you why he is one of the best running backs in the state. And I believe the Hornets are going to have false started on this extra point attempt. And it will be against the Hornets. Whitlock with his 3rd touchdown tonight, 25th on the season. And Reyes will still attempt the extra point, this time kicking it from the 15. The kick is up, and it is no good. I think a Crook County player might have got a hand on that one, as it doesn't make it really to the end zone, and the score will remain 39-23 with 8:29 to go. Kev, that drive, if you could call it that, lasted 16 seconds, 1 play, and 51 yards. Whitlock with another touchdown. Again, his 25th of the season, leads the state in that category. I don't have his exact yardage in front of me, but coming into tonight with 1,277 rushing yards, he's got to be pretty dang close to 1,400 at this point.
Yeah, on that last one, you really saw what makes him special. He's got strength and speed, and he used both on that particular run, and it's an incredible touchdown. Henley's season was on the line at halftime. They were down. They've scored 33 points in this second half, that offense. So they really put it together despite the adversity in the first half. Just a sign of a good, mature team.
The score 39-23 with 8:29 to go in the game, and the Hornets to kick off once more.
Still just a 2-score game.
And Reyes to kick off for the Hornets. Get some leg under that, coming to the near side. That will kick around. The Hornets tried to fall on it and recover it down by the 38, but it will be marked down at the 38-yard line. That is where Crook County will take over.
That was an odd kick. That had a lot of spin on it. And when it hit the ground, it was hard to handle, and it eventually just ended up out of bounds, but Henley almost was able to pick it up. We'll see if Crook County is aggressive once again, passing the football as they were on their last possession.
They scored quick. Only took them about 45 seconds to score on that last drive in 7 plays. Sandoval does drop back to pass, rolls to his right, and it looks like there's a scuffle for the football at the 47. I believe Crook County is going to come away with this one as the catch is made upfield for a gain of 8 yards. Second down coming up for Crook County. On the catch was Edward Freyoff.
That was a good play by Logan Whitlock. He made the tackle and noticed that he had a chance at the football, so he tried to grab it and take it away and almost got the ball but didn't. So Crook County will maintain possession and pick up the first down.
Okay, that was a first down. Looked a little short, but it is 1st and 10. Now Crook County from their 49-yard line. And I think they're trying to reset the game clock, trying to add about 13 seconds to it. And while they do, we'll remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. Harbor Isles has the most understanding trainers that you could ask for. They help you get motivated, and their workouts will make you feel accomplished all day long. Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness want you to lose those reins and get your gains. 1st and 10 Cowboys from their own 49-yard line. They trail Henley 39-23 with 8:09 to go in the ball game. Sandoval dropping back to pass, has time to throw, now has to roll to his right. Feels pressure, cutting upfield, past the 50, down to the 45, and upfield for a gain of 8. A nice scramble by Gavin Sandoval, the sophomore quarterback from Crook County, crosses midfield into Henley territory at the 43. No, are they giving him the he's well short of the first down. Come on, guys.
They're moving the sticks again. There we go.
Okay, where are we at here? It's going to be second and about 2. A good run there by Sandoval. He drops back to pass again. Feels pressure from his backside. He's being chased, wrapped up, and wrestled down.
You know, that's one of those plays you don't really see in the stats, but Owen Northcutt's had a lot of instances tonight where he has hurried the throw or made a tackle for a loss. He's done a really good job putting pressure on the quarterback tonight.
And Sandoval did end up getting rid of the football there along the sideline. And so it will remain 3rd down and about 2. Sandoval takes the snap, a handoff to Smith. Has some room, operating on the near side, finally brought down after crossing the 35, down by the 32. A gain of about 10 on the play, and a Cowboys first down.
Another good conversion on third down for Crook County. We're inside of 8 minutes now to play, and they trail by 16.
First and 10, the Cowboys at the Hornets 34. Sandoval sitting in the pocket, firing over the middle. The pass is picked off at the 20, coming back to the 30. Now the 35, staying on his feet and finally brought down. And for the Hornets on the interception, that was none other than Luke Bennett.
The Hornets have been close to getting interceptions all night, and that time he read it just right, and he had a full head of steam making his way toward the football, and he made a nice interception. Henley gets the turnover.
Bennett leads the team in interceptions, well, a tie for leading the team in interceptions. He's got 4 picks this season and leaving his mark on this game. The Hornets will take over first and 10 from their own 38.
Another important play in the swings of this game.
Hornets lead 39-23. There's 7:25 to go in the ball game. The kind of drive the Hornets can put together here. A reverse handoff. Whitlock finding some room past the 40. Now passes midfield. Staying on his feet again towards the middle of the field. Whitlock breaks loose past the 30. Now to the 35. Cuts again and brought down by his helmet. There's the flag we were waiting for. Whitlock, another huge gain for the junior.
He just seems to get stronger as this game goes on. Actually, the whole Henley team seems to be that way. They played very well in the second halves this year, and he just will not go down. Another huge run.
And another face masking call against the Cowboys as this huge gain grows even bigger. We'll see where this ball ends up after another massive gain from the state's leading rusher. It's inside the 10. First and goal, Hornets at the 9.
First and goal for the Hornets.
Henley running game just dominating in the later stages of this game.
Here we go, Hornets. First and goal from the 9. Shaw content to try to waste a little bit of clock here as there's 6:45 to go in the ball game. Another handoff to Whitlock, trying to dance through the offensive line up to the 4. So call it a gain of 5 or 6 for the Hornets. It'll bring up second and goal.
This is where Henley's very good at finishing games. They'll take their time, try to put this one in the end zone.
Luke Bennett checking into the game. And here we go, second and goal for the Hornets. Hand off to Whitlock. He is tackled at the knees after a gain of 2. Third and goal from the 3 for Henley.
Whitlock carries south by the center of the Crook County line.
Henley just playing straight ahead football right now, trying to force this in.
They're trying to put this game potentially out of reach with 5:45 to go in the final frame. Henley already up 39-23 in this opening round playoff matchup. A score here would go a long way in sealing this one up.
Certainly.
It's going to be a keeper for Stork, trying to bust in, and he is still working for it. He is in. Henley scoring another touchdown. Shaw Stork punching it in from 3 yards out. Henley leads 45-23.
How about that second effort? He ran right into that wall, that defensive wall from Crook County, then kind of bounced it outside, kept his balance, got the touchdown. Another good run.
That's Shaw's second rushing touchdown of the night and his 9th of the season. They're going to try for a 2-point conversion. It's going to be a trick play, receiver pass into the end zone, and it is complete to Tyler Harper. And the Hornets now up 47-23. 23 in the fourth quarter with 5:22 to go in the ball game.
Janney made the pass there.
That's his second two-point conversion completed pass of the season. The other one come against Hidden Valley earlier in the year.
His quarterback rating is huge.
It's got to be. I'm not sure how many points you get for two-point conversions, but
it's got to be in the 150s.
Well, I go to check his stats before the games, and passing stats are at the top of his page, and I'm like, he's passed once this season. Make it twice, and a two-point conversion. Henley leads 47-23 in the opening round playoff matchup. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union playoffs continue next week with the quarterfinals. Henley trying to finish off this ball game and book their ticket. And we've got a halftime score for Oregon State Washington. Was that 14-7 Beavers?
Yes.
All right, there we go. Of course, after the conclusion of tonight's game, if the Beavers are still playing, which they should be, you can find it on 92.9 and 1150 KAGO on your radio, but still plenty of time left in this football game. The kick is up and fielded at the 30 by Guzet, and finally wrestled down at the 30. A small return there, and that is where Crook County will take over.
Fox in there on the special teams tackle. He makes a lot of those. Cooper Grow also involved. And Crook County will take over at their own 32 to start this drive. Just over 5 minutes left to play.
Score 47-23 and Henley leads. Sandoval back to pass, moving up in the pocket, rolling right, unloads it downfield, and it is tipped on the coverage there. I believe that was Harper again.
That was a nice piece of defense. He came from a long way to knock that ball away. Good effort.
And so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cowboys from their own 32. A handoff to Smith. He is wrapped up and brought down. No gain on the play. Will bring up 3rd down and 10.
Cohen Redmond with a good tackle. 3rd and long coming up here.
Third and 11 coming up for Crook County as they are taking their time getting to the line. 4.5 to go in the game. Sandoval dropping back to pass, feeling pressure, moving up in the pocket, and brought down. A sack for the Hornets.
Matthew McCoy. Another big tackle.
It's the 2nd sack he's had tonight.
Yeah. And that clock continues to run now. And Crook County's in a desperate situation on 4th and 11.
And I imagine the offense is going to stay out here as we cross the 4-minute mark to go in the game. And a timeout will be taken by the Cowboys. And we will stick with you through this timeout on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video has been brought to you tonight on mybasin.com. Brought to you in part by Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty. Little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home. That's why Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty's exclusive Beyond the Sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty today. And be sure to stick with us for post-game coverage tonight of this OSAA On Point Community Credit Union opening round playoff matchup, as we will talk to our Mountain Mike's player of the game, who you'll hear from in the post-game show. We'll keep that secret, but a $25 voucher courtesy of Mountain Mike's Pizza coming to a very special Henley Hornets player who really showed out in this game in the second half. Henley up 47-23, looking to hold on to the lead late going, under 4 minutes. 4th and 11 coming up for Crook County. They are going to punt. No, it's a fake punt. Trying to dump it off. The pass is incomplete to Gouze. And the Hornets will take over 1st and 10 at the Crook County 31.
Yeah, that play was, even if the ball had been caught, he would have been well short of the first down. He just didn't get downfield enough. So Henley will take over on downs at the Crook County 31. And the Hornets have taken control of this game. Played an excellent second half.
Looking to move on to the quarterfinals, where they will play either 5-seed Estacada or 12-seed Junction City. Either way, it's going to be a home game for the Hornets, and it might be here at Mazama High School,
Right.
Hill O'Brien Field, in maybe some tough shape after the weather, but it's been a nice facility. Special thanks to Mr. Vic Lease for putting up with us in his facility tonight. And it looks like some new names coming in for the Hornets. Northcutt going to be in there at quarterback. And someone jumped on the offensive line. I believe it's going to be a Hornets player. Just have to find out for certain.
Little discussion there. They agree.
It's going to be offsides against Crook County. I thought I might have seen the right guard jump there, but it will be against the Cowboys. And I believe it'll be Jason Kern in at running back. He's generally been the second string guy for Henley this season.
He's a good hard runner.
And a fumbled snap. Kern is going to be the one to fall on it. Northcutt took the snap a little bit high, but Kern, again, did fall on it. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 11.
Those things will happen when you start shifting players, moving personnel in and out.
Now under 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the ball game, and Henley leads 47-23. Nolan Northcutt, who has been active on defense tonight, getting some reps at quarterback. Nolan gets his guys set. This is going to be a handoff to Kern, who is wrapped up and brought down. A loss of 1 brings up 3rd. And for Northcutt, he is a junior, and with Shaw Stork graduating after this school year, Northcutt maybe thinks he's next in line to take that quarterback spot and getting some good reps here in the playoffs.
Sure. And Henley will use all of the play clock. They'll take their time.
It's going to be 3rd and about 13 for Henley. Clock winding down past 2 minutes and 19 seconds, and Henley leads. It's going to be a keeper for Northcutt, trying to dance around the outside. Loses about half a yard on the play. 4th down coming up for Henley.
We mentioned before the game, Josh, that we thought this team was similar to North Bend, talking about Crook County.
Sure.
And this game was very similar. The score was similar. Henley had their struggles the first half with this team. They were a good team. They were big. They had good line play. And then Henley just solved the problem. They came out in that second half and just really, really played well on both sides of the football.
And we'll break it all down for you in the post-game coverage, so stick with us again tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video has been on mybasin.com tonight, and I believe the Hornets are going to use a timeout here. And we will stick with you through this brief pause in the action and remind you that tonight's game has been brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab does more than install just tires and wheels. Coming in for a free pre-trip safety check, we're going to help make sure that everything's in working order at Les Schwab Tires. Also, the Oregon Schools Activities Association would like us to let you know that there is an officials crisis across the state, a shortage of officials. So, if you want to stay involved with a sport you love and earn some money on the side, you should become an athletic official. Our officials tonight have done a fantastic job, and you could be down there on the field right along with them. Visit osaa.org/officials to begin your journey.
So Henley kind of in that weird situation where they'll go for it here. Not enough field to punt. Too long for a field goal.
4th and 15 for the Hornets. Northcutt gets his guys set. The snap. Drops back, looking to pass, looking to the near side. The pass is incomplete. And a turnover on downs. The Cowboys will take over, trailing 47-23 with a minute 23 left to go in the ball game. And again, Henley likely to advance to the quarterfinals. That's where their season ended last year in Coos Bay. But now as the 4 seed, you get that home field advantage. You know, Henley didn't get a home game at all in the postseason last year. Went up to Tillamook.
Right.
And we'll check in on the 6 seed Cheesemakers score a little bit later on tonight as well, and try to give you the full picture of what next week holds. And again, tomorrow night, you can come right out here to Viking Field and watch the undefeated Vikings take on the Seaside Seagulls. And the Hornets going to take another timeout. They've got 1 remaining.
I think they want to make sure they have all the right players in the right spots out there as they're trying to get the right 11 out there.
And we'll remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin. 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza, a proud supporter of high school sports. And we'll have some final scores for you in the post-game show as a couple of games around the state have already wrapped up. And we will give you the fullest picture we can after tonight's festivities conclude. But again, tomorrow here at Viking Field, you can find the Vikings taking on the Seagulls. And what a game that was in week 1 of the season when we went up to Seaside and Henley escaped that one with a win. Love to see that Seaside team come here and challenge Mazama, the undefeated team, only undefeated team left in the 4A class. Here we go. Crook County going to hand this one off to Smith coming along the near side. He is wrapped up and brought down at the 38. That is a gain of about 3 for the Cowboys. 2nd down coming.
Wyatt Fussell with a tackle.
Cowboys trying to get on the ball a little bit quickly, run some offense. And it's going to be a handoff to Gouze. And he is brought down right around the 45. Looks to be a solid gain.
That was a collision. Don't think these guys are not playing just because there's a minute left. That was a big hit.
1st and 10 Cowboys at their own 46. Now under a minute to go. 45 seconds and counting. Henley leads 47-23 over the 13 seed Cowboys. It's going to be a handoff to Smith. Finds his way upfield for a gain of 9. 2nd and 1.
Ronan Wright picking up a tackle.
And now 13 seconds left. Crook County maybe getting one more offensive play in their season. Sandoval drops back. It's a handoff to Smith. Trying to find some room to the 45. Brought down at the 35. And the final buzzer sounds. The Henley Hornets are headed to this year's quarterfinal. They will face either Estacada or Junction City next week. We'll break it all down for you as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoff on 104.3 and 960 Sports HD video tonight on mybasin.com. Final score, Henley 47, Crook County 23. We'll be back.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Ugh, keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place and then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And we welcome you back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video on mybasin.com. We're joined now by our Mountain Mike's player of the game. It's Luke Bennett. Luke, you had a great game. You guys go into halftime trailing. I think there was some frustration going into that locker room.
Yeah.
But you guys figured it out in that second half. What started breaking your guys' way?
We made a adjustment at halftime for our defense, and we just started off kind of flat and slow. We started picking it up, realizing what was at stake, just started playing better.
You and Shaw had a real great connection tonight. Talk to me about the chemistry between you and your quarterback.
Man, I love Shaw. It's never going to be the same without him. He's the best quarterback I could ask for.
And you guys coming in, getting a win. Was it nice to play on this AstroTurf tonight? You feel a little bit quicker tonight?
Yeah, the turf's all right. It's bouncy. I like it. I like playing wherever, though.
You guys, Estacada took care of Junction City pretty good, so that's going to be your opponent next week. How's it feel to advance the quarterfinals for yet another year?
It's good, man. We want to keep advancing, keep going. We want to take it week by week, though.
Certainly. Well, I'll hand you this right here through the window. Luke Bennett,
thank you.
You are our Mountain Mike's player of the game. You've earned a pizza made with 100% whole milk mozzarella toppings piled so high that you'll need a mountain guide to reach the top. Mountain Mike's Pizza on Washburn near Walmart Shopping Center. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be. Luke, before I let you go, what's your go-to pizza?
Man, I don't even know.
Oh, you got to give me one, man.
Cheese.
Okay, that's fair enough. Luke Bennett tonight on the post-game show. Thank you for joining us. I'll take that from you. We're going to take one more break tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video tonight on mybasin.com as the Hornets come away with a 47-23 win in the opening round of the playoffs. We'll be back on 104.3 and 960 Sports. HD video tonight on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it, but the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the
And we welcome you back to 104.3 and 960 Sports HD video tonight on mybasin.com. Final score in the opening round of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A football playoffs. Henley taking care of business against Crook County, 47-23. Luke Bennett, our player of the game. And Kev, he had such a special night, especially in that second half when it seemed like the Hornets, coming into that second half trailing by 3, but it just started to break their way, and the team turned right back into the team that we saw all season long.
Yeah, that was a terrific second half. Luke did a little bit of everything tonight.
Yeah, he did.
Really good on defense, excellent on special teams, made some great catches offensively. So, yes, he definitely deserved it. A lot of good performances tonight, though. A lot of good work by the Henley the running game. Both Shaw Stork and Logan Whitlock played exceptionally well. Chris Janney played good on defenses. Just Owen Northcutt was just creating a lot of havoc in that backfield. So, yeah, a lot of good performances as we've seen all year. I mean, how do you defend this Henley team if you're an opposing coach? They really showed in that second half they can turn it on.
And you talked about, just real briefly, Owen Northcutt getting in the backfield, especially in that second half.
Yeah.
It was such a problem in the first half that Henley just could not seem to get any pressure on Crook County sophomore quarterback Gavin Sandoval, but they were able to pressure him. They shut out the offense in the third quarter and only allowed one more score the rest of the game, and looked really good tonight. That Henley defense locked down in that second half.
Definitely. Henley defense kept them in the game the whole time, and when the offense caught up, and that made for a blowout. So just a good team effort again from a good Henley team. They are fun to watch.
Certainly, and as these Hornets now advance to the state quarterfinal, we do have the news that they will play Estacada next week. The Estacada High School really took care of Junction City tonight, 44-8. Was the final score there. So next week, either Friday or Saturday, Henley will host Estacada in the quarterfinal as the 4 seed taking on the 5 seed there. A couple other final scores from around the state. The other Big Sky Conference team playing tonight, Marshfield, unfortunately lost to Scappoose 23-6 in the 8 versus 9 matchup. Gladstone, the 14 seed, edged Marist, the 3 seed, 21-20. So an upset there coming against Marist up there
surprising.
in Eugene. Yes, very surprising.
Yeah.
Marist has been good this season. We're still waiting on a final score from Tillamook and Woodburn, but the winner there will play 14 seed Gladstone. Number 7 Pendleton beat Staten pretty handedly, 41-20, and still waiting on a final score from LeGrand and Cascade. Of course, you can visit OSAA.org for updated brackets and tournament information for all classifications. OSAA.org, just go to the top, click football, and you'll find all the classifications right there. And before we sign off tonight, we'll mention that Henley is involved in a couple of other playoffs, some other teams involved. As volleyball did lose this morning, they were swept by Cascade in the quarterfinals, but playing in the consolation bracket tomorrow at 8 a.m. against the Dals. Of course, you can watch coverage of that one on the NFHS network. Again, find details there on OSAA.org. Meantime, the boys soccer team is in the quarterfinals against number 10 Estacada. They will actually play right here at Viking Field at 5 o'clock tomorrow after Mazama football takes on Seaside in the final quarterfinal of the weekend, or the opening round of the weekend. The quarterfinals begin next week, pardon me there. So again, all the playoff information can be found on OSAA.org. Before we send things off tonight, Kevin, a great win tonight for Henley. Do you have any final thoughts heading into next week? We get a home game in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, well, Estacada soccer team's coming tomorrow, and so
right,
that bus is going to know know that route pretty well by the time next week rolls around. I think Estacada was preseason #1 if I'm not mistaken. So they're a good club. I know that Mazama beat them early in the season, so I think that's their only loss, just like Henley. So a good opponent. There'll be a lot of film being watched the next 5 days, and it'll be really exciting to watch next week.
Yeah, we are really excited for it. The final score tonight from Viking Field at Mazama High School, 47-23. Would like to thank some of the folks that make tonight's broadcast possible. Of course, our host tonight, Athletic Director Vic Lease, for setting us up in the box and putting us up this evening. Of course, both head coaches, Mr. Alex Stork at Henley High School and Pard Smith for Crook County. Also special thanks to Luke Hammond, the Henley Athletic Director, for allowing us to broadcast these schools all season long. Again, for more playoff information, you can visit OSAA.org. The final score tonight, the Hornets advancing to the quarterfinals after beating Crook County 47-23. For Caitlin Rodriguez and Kevin Petrick, I'm Josh Eldridge saying good night from Mazama High School.